to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Oh, welcome in. Is that Richard Nixon?
Oh, I'm not a shark.
It's one way to start it off. Welcome in Wednesday, November 26th. Woo! The Megalodon episode is back. Jason
Andy,
Moore.
have you had your caffeine this morning?
Always. I'm ready to rumble.
There is two caffeine sources on this table.
Oh, Jason has two.
No,
of his
Jason has
own?
his. I have my coffee.
Oh, you got to be. I mean, this is going to be hours.
Yes.
Boys. I mean, we've got 3 days worth of content to jam into one show. I mean, we will be. Let me set the stage here. By the way, I only introduced Jason, but Mike Wright is here. I'm Andy Holloway. Great show today. It would take so long to just go through all the things we're going to talk about, but it'll be, we're going to get you ready for Week 13. We got fantasy playoffs on the horizon, but the point is it's going to be a very long show, and we've got a long. We're just going to be here a while.
By the end of this show, I feel so good right now. I feel great.
Yeah.
By the end, I hope I'm just a sweaty mess.
Yeah. Just a puddle.
Just a puddle. Just like I've given it all I have.
Right. No, we will have
I don't hope that.
at some point during
That's
the
gross.
show. We will have a special hashtag that we'll share. And if you go to Twitter at the FF Ballers, you tag us and you let us know the hashtag, you'll be entered to win a Jamar Chase signed jersey, a Josh Jacobs signed jersey, and a Colston Loveland signed mini helmet.
Mr. Loveland.
Mr. Loveland.
Oh, I do declare.
So just stay tuned. We don't know what this hashtag is.
No, we never know. It's it'll come from the depths of our souls.
So we got a lot today. Now, last week Mike
Yep.
wasn't here,
Correct.
and just to kind of set up this day, Mike wasn't here, and we did our Prize Picks Fantasy Faceoff, which we'll do again today because it's part of the Friday show and everything's in today's show.
Turkey Day special.
Turkey Day special. I mean, we got. Thank you, and the Deucers got voluntold.
They got
Voluntold.
they got the opportunity.
They got the chance to come and
to
shame.
show what they
They
got.
could have shamed you.
They could have shamed you.
Yeah. But they shamed themselves. And,
Yeah.
and I felt like on a mega show,
Mm-hmm.
maybe mega shame would be
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah.
And
No
so
waiting.
we didn't want to wait till the end of this show because who knows if they're even employed at that point.
Right.
And they are right now. So we said, hey, we'll go ahead and spin that wheel a little bit beforehand. So let me go to Deucer's Alley over here.
Oh, look at how beautiful.
We've got Turkey 1, Turkey 2, Turkey 3.
Oh, you losers.
Josh is thrilled.
Josh is just-
Man. When I was saying I hope I'm a sweaty mess, what I really meant is I can't wait to see what a sweat. How hot are you three gentlemen in those turkey outfits?
It's very warm.
Now,
It's also hard. They're very snug.
Oh no! I mean,
yeah, and you do have to produce the Megalodon,
Josh,
which we realize.
your snood is looking great.
Yeah, nice snood, bro. Also, the because we gave these guys their costumes this morning, and you look amazing. It did say one size fits most. Are you all in the Are you all in the most category today?
I think looking at it, only Matt the Falcon fits his costume. The other two guys,
I'm just outside of most.
yeah.
So the shame today is to do an entire show dressed up as
man.
three incredible turkeys. We'll pan the camera back at random times today, but very excited. We better get this thing going. First thing we'll do, shout out our Megalobowl leader, M. Taylor 97, in the lead right now going into week 13 out of 20,000 plus entries into the Megalobowl.
2 weeks left to be in the top 6 in your league. I'm in second place right now, so I will be I'll be seeing everybody in the playoffs.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then each week of the playoffs, the top half will move on. And our final week, the number one scorer of the week will be your Megalobowl champion and be in the Listener League for 2026.
Yes, I will.
Yes, you will. You can go ahead and follow us on X at the FF Ballers. Jason's at Jason Moore. Mike at FF Hitman. I'm at Andy Holloway.
Soon to be at Mike.
Oh, you're still
I'm working it.
You're still trying to get at Mike.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, now you want to get it out there. Get it out there. Let people
at Mike. I'll be so jealous.
I mean,
I was so happy I was able to change to
Jason
Moore.
Yeah,
That's
your name.
Yeah, that's great. And then you tried to do at Mike Wright. Didn't work. They're like, nah, that's
They're
not.
like, this guy's got an account. He doesn't use it, but we can't take it.
But then they're like, but wait a minute. Maybe
what
I
about
could get
at Mike?
At Mike. That would be so awesome.
That'd be pretty great. That would be a real hearkening back to your non-verified days, if you remember. To go from that to at Mike, that'd be legendary. You can go ahead and follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/fantasyfootballers as well. And if you want to see three turkeys producing a show,
and you do,
you can go to youtube.com/thefantasyfootballers. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell. Mike will be live with you on Sunday for week 13, answering your last-minute questions or freaking out about the injury reports or both. So let's get our first segment started.
Backup Options, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Well, your waivers went through, and we're looking at the most dropped players on Sleeper over the last 24 hours. Joe Flacco leading the way at the quarterback position. Well, that makes sense. We know Joe Burrow is going to start on Thursday. People letting go of Sean Tucker, Bashaw Tootin. I'm not sure when Bucky Irving will be back, but your window.
I think it might be happening.
You know what's crazy is in part of the news today, Omari and Hampton also coming back to practice. They might both be back at the same time.
Right.
But we don't know. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, people letting go of him. On the wide receiver front, Pearsall, one of the most dropped. Keon Coleman, Darius Slayton. The Slayton thing hasn't happened for, there have been opportunities.
It's just injury.
It just hasn't worked out. Yeah. And that's happened to him before when he's had opportunities.
Yeah.
He's been a little banged up. But let's get into some backup options. You didn't get the player you wanted on the waiver wire, so
I'll jump in here first because for some reason this player's on the most dropped list. I think we talked him on our waiver show, and it's Yoshivas.
I totally understand why. I made the mistake when I was looking at waivers originally. It was like, oh, Chase is back,
right?
So and you forget about T. Higgins. Like this is a great pick, Mike.
So look, is it Yoshivas or Yosivas?
Yoshi. It's Yoshi.
Yoshivas. Because do you remember?
They always call him Yoshi.
No, I remember. Yes, I remember calling him Yoshi, but just saying there's.
I'm not sure which one is correct, but I know which one is right.
Yoshi.
All
right, so Yoshi apparently is being dropped out there, and he is to me, you could pick him up and you could play him tomorrow. Like he's got the Thanksgiving game. We're actually going to be talking about him again later on this show. Because look, Chase was out. He saw 83% of the snaps, 7 targets, 4 for 61. And the big one is T. Higgins is out. He's already been ruled out as of yesterday with the concussion. And with Joe Burrow back, there will be plenty to go around, plenty of opportunities at least. And while the Ravens, the defense has gotten better as of late, I'm still, like with Joe Burrow at the helm, I'm not scared to put him out there as a replacement type of a player that is available, because we all run into situations where we need someone right off the waivers, right into the lineup, and I think Yoshi fits that bill.
Well, my backup option, I'm going to keep throwing his name out there. You need to pay attention to it, especially with Cam Ward playing a lot better right now. It's Chimere Dike, the wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. This is kind of wild. Since week 7, so the firing of their head coach, he leads the Titans in receptions, receiving yards, first downs. And only Tedero McMillan and Emeka Ibuka those are the only 2 rookie wide receivers with more receiving yards since week 7 than Chimere Dike. He is a super explosive player. Like, you have potential for a score in the return game from him, but also if you get him the ball in the screen game and he can break something loose, I mean, he is entering the flexible territory, but you kind of run away from the Titans. So I just want him. He's a rookie.
I love this call because Chimere Dike he got off to a slow start. The Titans did. Cam Ward did. And so sometimes we just discount it. We just go, well, I'm out OUT on that whole situation. Chimere Dike, you mentioned it yesterday, Andy, but he's on pace right now to break the all-time, all-purpose yards. Like, he is that good of a punt returner. And you're not just that good of a punt returner because, like, man, the blocking scheme is excellent. I mean, they're doing good work, but it's because he's a really good athlete in the open field. So I love paying attention to a rookie in that situation.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, I'm gonna name
yours
mine.
is insane, and yet it's not at all.
It is not.
It's not insane.
It's not insane at all.
But when you hear it, you're gonna be like, I'm not doing that.
What a terrible podcast.
Not just the pick. I mean,
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't ruin the
Okay,
whole
okay.
podcast. The New Orleans Saints defense. I'm telling you should pick them up. What? Yeah. You look at the New Orleans Saints, one of the worst teams in the league, one of the worst records. You think, okay, you don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole right now. And I know every league is so wildly different with defensive scoring. I'm going off our league of record, which is standard enough. We kind of nerf it a bit. They're the 16th points scored at the position, so they're not 25th, 28th. They're not like one of the bottom dwelling defenses. They've put up points. And when you look at their actual game log of who they've played, like they played the Rams, good offense, the Bucks, good offense, Chicago, good offense, the Patriots, good offense, and they didn't put up any points there. But then they played last week Atlanta, bad offense, 12 fantasy points. Carolina, bad offense, 11 fantasy points. The Giants, bad offense, 19 fantasy points. Like when they've had a good matchup, they've shown out.
Oh, they can't possibly have like a run of the 3 best matchups in football.
Well, let's take a look at their playoff schedule. Their playoff schedule is Carolina again, who they put up double-digit fantasy points against, the New York Jets, who are way worse than Carolina, and then the Tennessee Titans. 2 of those, the first 2, are at home. I mean, it's a perfect schedule for a defense that I think is definitely good enough to put up points against bad matchups.
It's also one that your league mates will dismiss immediately and is sitting out on waivers and no one will pay attention to, and that's how you win championships.
Assuming that my saying this on this show right this second doesn't sway you guys, you jerks, I have a $0 bid in, $0 on the Saints right now because who's putting a bid on the
All right,
Saints?
He's got a $5 bid, Mike. He's got a $5 bid.
I'm just, I am being honest.
Yes, he's being so honest.
Because there's no
I have a
way
negative $2 bid.
There's no way that anyone out here put a bid on the Saints prior to this.
No, you got it. I mean, it shocked me, and then you see the schedule and you see the evidence, and it makes sense. So that was Backup Options, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Let's talk news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
I am so happy for Marion Hampton. The 21-day practice window has been officially opened. The celebrations in the streets. Marion Hampton, Buck Irving, are they here to save your fantasy season? Maybe.
They're not here to save your fantasy season, but they're here to bring you a championship if you've had a good season with them. You know what I mean? Fair. Like if you're going to the playoffs, I think that their playoff run will be special and worthy of a championship run. It was funny yesterday on the Footcast. I was talking to Mike. I was like, I've been scouring for any Omarion Hampton news, and there was none. And then mid-show, it's like, oh, his window's opened up.
Yeah, it's I'm watching video of him at practice.
Oh, what's he doing?
Everything.
Oh.
Well, actually, I'm just watching him run through some of those little
the things James
the drills, the drill. But he looks healthy, so we'll see.
From what I've heard, it's tough running through those things.
Yeah. They fight back.
Yeah.
What is this quote? Greg Roman on Hampton's ankle injury back on October 9th. The injury is easily corrected, easily fixed. It's not a complicated type of things. That was back in October. It was more complicated than Mr. Roman anticipated.
Things can be easy and still take a long time.
Yeah, we did have a comment from Jim Harbaugh on the carry split between Vidal and Omarion Hampton after his return. He said, quote, "We'll see how this week goes or the week goes, but we'll see." Hampton's on his way back. Brandon Cooks has been...
I'll just throw it out real quick. Like, I thought about saying Vidal should be the backup option because we don't know 100% that Hampton is going to play this weekend.
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah, I would say that I'm still very
just keep it
50-50.
Keep it in the back of your mind that Kamani Vidal is one of the most dropped players in the last 24 hours, and it's not a guarantee that Hampton plays.
It's a great point, and they're heavy favorites. I think they're 7.5-point favorites this week.
9.5.
Oh, 9.5.
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like
the current line.
Yeah, I think that went up. Yeah.
Maybe because of Hampton. So if Hampton plays,
what's the matchup
this
for
week, Miami. Or I'm sorry, Las Vegas. Totally different city.
Right. No, they're right next to each other.
No, I mean pretty close.
But like
they get confused for each other a lot.
If and it's not in
they
Las
call
Vegas.
Las Vegas the Miami of
in Los Angeles
of the
against Las
desert.
Vegas. But if Hampton is active this week, are you plugging him
Oh yeah.
immediately?
Yes,
No,
yeah.
I know you. Okay, Mike, would you?
Yes,
your
I-
roster is desperate for Hampton.
My roster has Chris Rodriguez in it right now.
More than likely, we fielded a question on the Footcast yesterday. It was like, is Hampton gonna, is he gonna be back? But because they were talking about guys like Alec Pierce at the flex too, and it's like, yes, I would put Hampton right back in.
All right, I've got 2 names I'm curious about.
Okay.
He's not even looking at me anymore.
Okay, Rico Dowdle, who didn't get a lot of work, now plays the Rams this week. One of the toughest matchups, but he's been great. Hampton first game back. Which way you go there?
I'm now happy he's not looking at me.
Wow.
I've got another hard name after that.
I honestly would need more news, but I would probably just play Rico as of now.
And then Kareem Hunt. Pacheco
I would
is
play
back.
I would play
Hunt.
Hampton.
Okay. All right. Squeeze them in between them.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
The
what you
Hampton
do.
sandwich.
Okay. Hey, guess what? J.J. McCarthy not expected to play this week due to the concussion.
Or ever again.
Oh man.
There were
We got to get
rumors.
to the offseason for J.J. McCarthy.
I know.
We got to get out of this, man. It's not good.
I
What
think
do
he's
you-
got one of those paper chains where it's like every day taking one off.
Yeah, but see, I think the offseason ends his career. So I think we actually need to play now because I don't
Yeah.
think because they don't go into the offseason without a fix or a potential fix.
No, there were already
they will get a fix.
There were already ridiculous rumors that they were going to go after Daniel Jones, which they're not going to be able to.
It seems impossible.
But yeah, they're going to look. They're not just saying, "Well, we drafted him and he's our guy forever." Seattle, Washington, the next 2 weeks. If maybe he misses a couple,
Not Seattle in Washington, but
that's
Seattle
funny.
and Washington.
Yes, the 2 next matchups are Seattle, the city and the franchise against, and then Washington, the Commanders. After that, Dallas and the Giants. Maybe that's a good time to bring him back, give him a chance.
Yeah,
Sure.
if you've got to show them something before this season ends, or they will show you the door. Or you're going to be a backup for sure, and that could be. I mean, that's just like I see that as the most likely outcome. The most likely outcome is J.J. McCarthy's a backup next year for the Vikings, and that is just what a complete change in every dynasty.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet to make that declaration. I still think that there is a large percentage that can get it fixed. I don't want to be too recency biased because recent eye test.
I mean,
has
that's
been
all you have. It's also his
vomit.
entire career.
Fair.
Unfortunately, it's just a short period of time. I just don't understand what you can even do from this point out. You don't play this week. So you got weeks 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You got 5 weeks. Better show something right then. And you better do it like multiple games for them to have a chance of making you the starter. They have too many good players. You think Justin Jefferson and Addison are going to stand idly by and you say, yeah, next year we're going to go with the same dude. It's more of a Rosen situation is what it is.
I wonder if they should go after Josh Rosen.
Yeah, honestly.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to make
Kevin
the comp,
O'Connell,
but I'm
you
like,
can-
no, Rosen's season was way better.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's not a pile-on thing. It's just realistic. Teams don't have time. And when you have Hall of Fame wide receivers and you got a defense like that and you got – yeah, it's rough. Bucky Irving, he's going to practice all week. He will be cleared to suit up on Sunday versus the Cardinals if he avoids setbacks. That is reporting out of the Buccaneers official site. Scott Smith and Todd Bowles' comments on Monday. So, Bucky Irving, welcome to the party, pal.
Last week when they sat him down, they basically said they expect him to play this week.
And then Jeremy Fowler says there's a realistic possibility that Jaden Daniels returns to play in Week 14.
Commanders have lost 6 in a row.
I get the verbiage. When you're talking about what we saw happen to Jaden Daniels' arm, and to think that he's going to play football again this year, you have to say it's a realistic possibility.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I know it's his non-throwing arm, but don't RJ3 this thing. Like
RG3?
Yeah.
You said Jay, but it's
Oh,
okay.
did I?
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a big
Robert
deal.
Griffin.
Robert Griffin.
I just don't want. don't rush him back. This team isn't making the playoffs.
See, that was a big comment about the Burrow situation too. It's like, I don't know if you watched the press conference with Burrow, because he talked about he sees all these things about like, well, why are you bringing me back if I don't have a chance to make the playoffs? He's like, I'm a football player.
Yeah.
He's like, you get hurt. It happens in football. Then you rehab, and then when you're ready to play football, you come back and play football.
Yep.
He's like, all the other stuff doesn't make any sense. This idea that I'm not going to play just because of this or that, and I get it. Like, I mean, it's the same thing with Jaden Daniels. Like, you're a football player.
I agree 100% with that. Like you shouldn't not play just because you're out of the playoffs. Like, teams that aren't making the playoffs don't just bench all their starters. But what you shouldn't do is rush a timeline back from injury that could potentially make things worse. Both of these guys, like, let's say the timeline, Burrow's playing this week, that is astronomically ahead of the optimistic timeline that he was given at the injury.
They didn't play him on Sunday. So they didn't rush him back, right? You could have played him Sunday. They lost the game. They probably don't lose that game with Joe Burrow. Joe Flacco made some bad mistakes in that one, and it was close. So I feel like they're doing what you're saying, because they could have tried. They could have rushed him back.
I hope so. I just don't want to see either of these guys get injured again.
Yeah. That was News and Notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Did I miss something? Oh, Josh Jacobs.
Oh, this is a big one.
My bad. Josh Jacobs expected to play on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, baby.
Gobble. So
I need him.
Yeah, and then Jaden Reed, basically a game-time decision. Head coach said, you'll find out on Thursday.
I mean, if he didn't have sunglasses on and, like, lower them down, be like, you'll find out Thursday.
Yeah.
Then he did it wrong.
He's a spicy individual, Mr. LaFleur. That was News and Notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Let's take a break, and then we're going to get into the Turkey Day Awards, a tradition unlike any other. Some people have actually compared the Masters in Augusta to like the same level of prestige as the Turkey Day Awards.
Yeah.
And you'll understand that when you hear the intro to the segment. Tradition unlike any other. Well, we're back. We do this every single year.
And just so people are clear, that is Jason doing the voiceover of the turkey.
Yeah, amazing impressions that this guy could do of farm animals.
Moo.
See?
Yeah.
Whoa,
what did I
is there
say?
a cow in this room? Holy crap!
That was incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
There's more to come.
Yeah. Oh, frightening. All right, every year we do some Turkey Day Awards. We're playing along with you. We don't know who who Kyle and Brooks picked for these official awards. Last year, we'll start here. The Thanksgiving meat, right? Some of you is turkey, some it's ham. Jason, I know you're a ham guy.
No, Jason's a tenderloin now.
Yes, I am.
How are you?
I got 2 ready to cook. They're brining now.
Okay, just cook them.
Oh, I cooked the last
The
one.
problem is the eating immediately after the cooking.
Yeah, the
Don't
problem
leave
is
them on the counter.
I think 2 hours is fine.
Why do any hours?
Yeah.
Well, you're saying you don't go back for leftovers at Thanksgiving. You eat and then the food's still out. It's fine at that point.
Okay,
8 hours.
Yeah, you play the game and win the prize. All right, last year's Thanksgiving meat, which we call the showstopper and MVP of Thanksgiving Day. Last year's winner on this show, Saquon Barkley. Play along at home. We don't know who they picked, but who's the answer for you guys on the 2025 showstopper MVP right now?
There's 3 guys that come to mind.
Yeah, there are.
Well, so there's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
There's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. And JSN.
And JSN.
Those are the 3.
And I was going to say Jonathan
Gibbs
Taylor
making a late push towards it.
Well, I was going to say it was Johnny Taylor, but I'm wondering if this particular week
I know
was that enough to sway the jury of the turkey votes
for the JSN side?
Or,
I don't think
or
it's
McCaffrey.
I don't think it's going to be CMC. I think it's going to be Taylor or JSN.
So I'm going to stick with because
I'm going to stick with Taylor.
Me
I'm going to
too.
go JSN
because this is the meat. I think you're forgetting about them mashed potatoes, but we'll get there. I'm going to go with the meat being JSN. He's a big honking meaty man.
What?
Or Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, that's a different name.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor. Andy and I are in lockstep. You're going JSN?
Let's hold on. What are the mashed potatoes? The
mashed potatoes
most
is the next
consistent,
one.
dependable. They could all be.
No,
I know,
just make the pick.
I'm going JSN.
All right, the winner is Jonathan Taylor.
Loser,
Boo.
Mike.
Jonathan
Boo.
Taylor.
You know who's loser? Last week's Jonathan Taylor, Jason.
Yeah.
How was that?
I
that's
got
1
a
week.
big L last week.
All right, the mashed potatoes, a rich, buttery glob of
Jonathan Taylor.
mashed potatoes is what everyone needs to add body to the plate, the most consistent, dependable dish for a Thanksgiving day. Last year, the winner was Derrick Henry.
Has to be JSN. He's had like one game outside the top 13 at wide receiver. Something.
I think you could. Okay. I want to go CMC. I'll go.
I mean, it's one of those two for sure.
I'll go CMC.
I'm going Christian McCaffrey.
The winner is Jackson.
Come on, man.
Smith
2 for 2,
Jigba.
baby.
All right.
Who made up this stupid game?
Not you. The burned dinner rolls. Gosh, you put in so much time and effort. You prepared the meal, but unexpectedly the rolls were burned. Sometimes you just have to scrape the carbon shavings off and throw it away in sadness. This is not a good award. Last year it was Travis Etienne, who was maybe the biggest bust in fantasy. This year,
I've got my name.
I've got my name, too.
I think he's burnt. Right now, he's literally in the garbage. I'm going Brian Thomas Jr.
was my
it does feel like that's got to be the pick. Let's
He
see.
was like a second rounder consensus.
Yeah.
It is Brian Thomas
Yeah.
Jr., which
Yeah.
congrats to Jacksonville on 2 consecutive wins. Jacksonville doing work at the burn dinner roll.
No.
They're really hoping they get to play the Cardinals again.
We've got the Mike Wright special, which is the Jack in the Box here. The random dish somebody brought because, well, they're convinced Thanksgiving food is trash and outdated. Time to stop with the old way of thinking. Open your eyes and realize this could be the best thing ever. Last year, it was Baker Mayfield. This year, it's a tie between 2 winners.
Oh. Wait, was there like voting?
I
Is this-
don't know.
I
I don't know
thought
how this
Kyle
gets
just picks
picked.
all this. I have no idea who picks these.
It's 2 winners in the
I have 2.
Okay,
That's good because I got 2 nominees.
I think Rico's one.
Rico is one for
I
me.
think Rico's one.
I've got 2 names, yeah. Okay.
My second name
I'm trying to think.
is Michael Pittman.
Oh, I love that. I don't think that's it, but I love that.
Rico's
I'm
more of
going-
a headline maker.
I'm going Rico, and I'm going Stafford.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Stafford
I
has
like that.
not been a
All right.
fantasy
Yeah.
star, but
This apparently this means Brooks and Kyle couldn't agree on this one, so they
both
picked both.
demanded that it
I
was
think
their
Stafford and Rico.
guy. Okay.
Are
well,
we going with
we
that?
all agreed on Rico.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with Pittman.
Okay.
But-
The answer is Javonte.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Goodness, that's
Of
a good
course.
answer.
Javonte
Of
and Rico.
course.
Dowdle.
Javonte's a better answer than Rico.
And Rico.
Yes.
Yeah, both of those are perfect.
Okay. Well, 1 out of 2.
And yeah, funny. All right, one more award. Is that right? We have the pumpkin pie guy. So delicious. You don't want too much of it.
Pumpkin pie. Cool.
Apparently on the YouTube, there was a
Oh,
legend.
this is the new one, right?
There was a legend made last year where someone talked about eating an entire Costco pumpkin pie
Mm.
and then just really, really got on in the YouTube comments. Weird stuff happens in those YouTube comments.
I love
So
them.
what is the definition of the pumpkin pie guy, though?
Delicious.
It's delicious, but you don't want too much.
So you need it for a small amount of the season?
I don't know.
I don't know. Kyle, do you have a better do you have a summary
so someone
for us, Kyle?
explain what this represents.
If you get too much of it, you will throw up.
Okay, so Kyler was the winner last year. So, okay, too much, you'll throw up. I have no idea.
I
Boom bust? Is that what
yeah,
that
I mean
is?
that's how I feel. I feel like it's maybe a
Jameson
Jameson
freaking Williams.
Jameson Williams is
yeah.
who came
He
to
will
mind.
make you throw up.
He's delicious. He can have great performances.
Oh, yeah.
But he takes care of you. He's like, don't have too much.
Okay, yeah, that's my pick.
I'm gonna take that plate back.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
give you.
going
I'm gonna give you a plate. There's nothing on it.
with. Right.
I think we're going to go with J-Mo, but I will also
Throw somebody
nominate
else out there.
Rome Odunze.
Okay.
That makes
Oh,
me
it was a
sad.
tie again. Quentin Johnson and Jameson Williams.
Oh, yeah, huge.
Boy, they are going goose for goose.
Yeah, the goose eggs really.
Who'd you rather have rest of the season between those two?
I think James.
I think it's J-Mo.
I think it's J-Mo.
But I should shut
Because
up.
of the Laporta injury.
I'm gonna go huge.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's your Turkey Day Awards. We will jump into our starts.
Starts of the week, presented by Tostitos.
Okay, it starts with the week time. Week 13, we got games on Thursday, Friday, Sunday. I don't think we're playing in a different country this week, so there's that. But every team is playing, no bye weeks. I'm going to start with my start of the week at quarterback. Dak. I'm going Dak.
Oh, I need to hear this, Andrew.
Against Kansas City.
I know. That's why I need to hear this.
You let me know.
I don't need underpants this week.
Okay.
No. He doesn't. When you have George and you got CeeDee catching the football,
please learn to catch.
You see his comments. He's like,
no.
He made some comments in the press about like, he gave all the like political answers of like, it doesn't do you any good to focus on the negative, and figure, and focus on the problem. You need to move forward. And he goes, but we know what the problem is. I need to catch the blanking ball. But I'm going to go with Dak. This is a home game for Dak. Crucial part of the season. Highest over-under of the week. I think Dak and Mahomes are going to be incredible in this game. This is Dak, for all the ups and downs and all arounds, it's quarterback 4 in fantasy points per game on the season. He is playing great football. He has 2 elite pass catchers, a must-win game that I think, look, Dallas, your defense is getting better. You're not stopping Patrick Mahomes in this game. I think it's going to match or surpass that 52.5 points, and I love that. I want the high. You're into this.
I'm just so happy to – because I have to start him. It was basically him or Purdy, and Purdy's got a terrible matchup and was terrible last week. So I'm starting Dak, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I saw Purdy hit the old waiver wire for you.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with a revenge game narrative, a well-deserved start. Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Darnold at home against those Vikings who said, we don't need you. We've got J.J. McCarthy.
Aren't they 11.5-point favorites?
They are 11.5-point home favorites, so that's one of the reasons I like this. You expect them to score points. He's been an efficiency monster all year with JSN. Number 1 in yards per attempt, 5th in passer rating, 6th in passing yards. He's completing 74% of his passes at home, and the Vikings, they are reeling. Lost 5 of their last 6. They have no quarterback, and they're going to be looking across the field longingly at Sam Darnold. They're going to be like, I remember you.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
I know.
If you told us in the beginning of last year, while we were talking about Darnold being the starter in Minnesota, that a year from now, they'll desperately miss this dude.
Wild. I'm going with Bo Nix off of the bye week.
I would actually put Bo Nix in first, and then I scrolled down and saw you
Very
beat
nice.
me to the
He's playing at Washington. He's coming off of the bye week. We like that. A little bit of extra time to prepare. The Commanders' pass defense, 27th in schedule-adjusted points to the quarterback, dead last in passer rating allowed. And even though it has not been anything consistent for Bo Nix, he's still the quarterback 10 because he has spike week ability, and I think that this is one of the weeks.
All right, moving on to running back start of the week. I'm going Woody Marks. Going Woody Marks against Indianapolis. This is a huge-mungus game, officially.
Dude, it's crazy.
It is huge game. If Houston wins this ball game, they'll move to 4 straight wins. You will be 7-4, and then that will put Indianapolis at 8-3.
So Houston would be 7-5.
Oh, okay, 7-5,
and the Colts would be 8-4.
Yeah,
if Houston wins, like they'd be.
If Indy wins the game, that puts the division. They have it.
It's insane.
But Indianapolis,
if Houston wins,
yeah, and they could.
Do you go, I mean, genuinely, like, if you're on a 4-game winning streak, do you go back to Stroud? What, in the middle?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, I know you're going to go back to Stroud. He's your future.
Yeah, I do.
I do, too.
Yeah. Because you want to win a Super Bowl.
Man, I want to make the playoffs.
But Woody Marks is the pick. Since their Week 6 bye, he's averaging 16 opportunities a game, 61% of the snaps. And over this win streak, he's been a key part, the change at running back. Nick Chubb has 1 red zone touch in 3 weeks. Marks has 14. I mean, Indianapolis is on a really, really bad run right now. Like, you use our schedule tool, strength of schedule tool, and you limit it to the last 5 weeks. Indianapolis is 26th in schedule-adjusted fantasy points to the running back position. That has been a major trend, is Indy not stopping the running back, and Woody Marks gets all the opportunities. I want to give people confidence to play him this week.
All right. Mine is not a confidence play. Mine is a must play. RJ Harvey at Washington.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yep.
you want to start him. He's coming off the bye. I expect Harvey to see the lion's share of the workload this week. He saw a season-high 61% of the snaps last week. Wasn't a great fantasy output, but that was against Kansas City in their last game. The Chiefs have an awesome defense. Washington right now, look, the Broncos are a touchdown road favorite. The Commanders are 27th in rushing yards allowed, 24th in explosive rush rate, 27th in yards before contact. That is perfect for R.J. Harvey to have his post-bye breakout rookie game, and I'm starting him.
You thinking it's going to be humongous too?
I think it's going to be humongous. I'm starting him over Kenneth Walker. If Bucky's back, probably Bucky, Quinshawn, Javonte.
It's Harvey time?
Wow.
He's a top 15 guy for me this week.
All right. This one's it's a little scarier.
You need to put on a pair?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
It's Kenneth Gainwell against the Buffalo Bills.
Sorry.
Hey, there's
Sorry,
hey,
I was
turkeys.
just looking at.
What are you looking at there, Jeremy?
I want to check in here. I'm sorry.
Gainwell's card ready to bring up on the screen.
No, we don't have time to do that. Just checking in though. How's the temperature check back there in Deucer's Alley? How's the
Kenneth Gainwell on the board.
It's very hot.
Okay.
How's the comfort?
The nether regions are very.
Josh has been complaining about that a
Dude,
lot.
The seam on this thing
It's a
is
little,
not
little
good.
toit.
It's a little not good.
Toit like a toiger.
Okay, sorry. Kenny Gainwell.
There we go, Kenny Gainwell. And this is just trying to figure out what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing. Like Jalen Warren is still a good play this week, but even you go back to the game that Warren got injured. Gainwell was already taking a huge amount of the work. Like this is a full timeshare situation, and both players can get it done. Kenny G has been a top 12 running back-to-back weeks. He has 4 games of 6 or more receptions on the season. I would have for sure thought that would be Jalen Warren's job locked up, but they have really gone to Gainwell in that situation. Only McCaffrey, Achane, and Bijan can match the 4 games of 6 or more receptions. The Bills are a run funnel, 28th in yards before contact allowed, 30th in schedule adjusted points to the running back position. I think this is not a time to shy away from what Gainwell is putting on the field.
I have a question for you then.
Oh, between the two of them?
No.
Okay.
So I have this decision. I saw this in the doc, and I made a swap. I put Kenneth Gainwell back in the lineup, but that was over Yoshivas.
Ooh.
So Andre Yoshivas or Kenneth Gainwell?
Oh, man. I think between the two of them, I'll probably play Gainwell. Although the fun play is
I'm playing Gainwell.
The fun play is Yoshi on Thanksgiving
for Thursday. Yeah.
Wide receivers?
Yep.
Michael Wilson is my start of the week against
For sure.
Tampa Bay.
You mean Calvin Johnson?
I do mean Jerry Rice. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes. The Cardinals, they are cooking on offense. It's just there's so much productivity in this offense right now. Michael Wilson, you might say Harrison, he's coming back. I don't care. I don't care. They're playing Tampa Bay. 27th in schedule-adjusted fantasy points to wide receivers over the last 5 weeks. You can take the targets down from 18 or 15 to 10, and you can be content there. This is something they've unlocked in the offense. The Cardinals have the second highest rate of 15-plus yard pass plays over the last month. That's where Michael Wilson's been great. He can go compete. He can go high point a ball, competitive catch guy, touchdown threat. I think you stay in the flames with Michael Wilson / Jerry Rice.
I went to put him in the doc because if assuming that Marvin Harrison is back, which I think is fair. Timeline he should be back. He could miss, but I think it's important in Marv's first game back. You continue starting Michael Wilson. He has been too good in sync with Brissett. My start of the week at wide receiver, Christian Watson.
By the way, there are the first thing I see on Twitter about Marvin Harrison is a letter from a fantasy player saying, "Dear Marvin Harrison, please take the time you need to get your body where it needs to be and come back in week 14 with a vengeance. Sincerely, a Michael Wilson manager."
Yeah. Did you see Gannon's comments on it? It's like he'll be ready whenever he's physically ready and mentally ready to play football again. It's like,
what?
Huh?
When
Okay.
he's physically and mentally healthy to play, he'll play.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
had-
you got
had
to
a-
have confidence
you
that
had
you
an
could
organ
take a hit.
removed from your body.
Yeah,
Like,
but it was just a funny, like I hadn't
Yeah.
seen that one before.
Sure.
Where it's like, wait, you calling him weak?
Next week, it'll be like when he's mentally ready to play, he'll be back out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
he just cuts the
dude,
physical part out.
dude, he's physically ready.
They're really doing a good job of sitting all their best stars.
Christian Watson at Detroit. Since returning, he's averaging 71% of snaps,
Well, this one's interesting.
57 receiving yards per game. He's been the most consistent Packers wide receiver over the last 5 weeks. He is, I think, their best wide receiver. He leads all Packers in wide receivers in in-zone targets and deep targets. So basically the targets you really want, those are the ones he's getting. This is a high over-under in Detroit. They're going to have to pass to keep up with the Lions. And Detroit plays man coverage at the highest rate in the NFL. 42% of their dropbacks are in man. Watson leads the team in first read, target share versus man. One-on-one, he will be a problem for the Lions.
I also am independently and not impacting the Watson start of the week. I just hope that Reed is back because I want to be able to think about Jordan Love in the world of fantasy football again. And right now you can't with just Watson and no Tucker Kraft. And so I'm looking for – I want him back so that game is fun. I think that'll make the Detroit game more exciting.
Well, you'll find out Thursday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Mike.
I alluded to it. It's Yosh Voss versus Baltimore Ravens, so I'll keep it quick. He's going to be on the field for almost every single snap. And referring to the Ravens against the wide receiver position over the past 5 weeks, Chicago, Minnesota, and the Jets all scored above their expectation in terms of wide receiver scoring. So it's not completely solved yet for the Baltimore Ravens, and I think that if you are desperate for a guy, he's right there on the waiver wire for you.
All right. Well, this one is this is Mark Andrews. It's Mark Andrews at the tight end position, and it might be real, real good because Cincinnati can't see the tight end position. They don't know what it is.
His Mark Andrews line at the end of the week is going to be 2 for 17 and 2
and 3 touchdowns.
And three, one rushing
He'll get a rushing
touchdown.
No, I think Mark Andrews is as much of a lock for a receiving touchdown this week as any player in the game of football for Week 13. And how bad is Cincinnati's defense against the tight end position?
Start Isaiah Likely. That's how bad.
I mean, that's how you probably could. They are on pace to allow the most fantasy points to the tight end position in the history of the NFL.
Yeah,
and this is not like we're enough weeks in where they probably know this is a problem and can't fix it. Last week you made Hunter Henry the start of the week. Hunter Henry hasn't really been startable at all for weeks.
And then he was the tight end 1.
He was the tight end 1. So
Andrews is minus 105
for a touchdown.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
They're saying it's gonna happen.
Play him. Are you playing him, Jay?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Over Gadsden though.
Over Gadsden and over Pitts.
And over Waller and over all your other.
And over Waller, who isn't playing yet. Yeah. I'm playing.
You've heard of the taxi squad. He's got a tight end squad.
Yeah. My tight end start of the week, Dalton Schultz, the doctor who Andy pooped all over yesterday. I'm here to inform the public that the doctor is tied for third most tight end targets over the last month. Last week, we said to not play him. The Buffalo Bills are one of the best defenses against tight ends. But if you look at the 5 games prior to that bad matchup, his pace was over 100 catches and over 1,000 yards at tight end. The Colts, on the other hand, are 28th in schedule-adjusted fantasy points allowed to tight end. And, Andy, you brought up how important this game is. The doctor will be heavily involved. He's going to have tons of patience this week.
Okay.
I'm going with Juwan Johnson. The New Orleans Saints taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are 29th in schedule-adjusted points to the tight end, 27th in receiving yards per game allowed to the tight end position. And since the trade of Rashid Shaheed, since the move over to Tyler Shuck, it's Juwan and it's Chris Olave. We are of a pretty consolidated target tree in New Orleans.
What did he do last week?
Last week, 7 targets, 6 for 46.
Okay.
So
I had thought about starting him last week. I was a little nervous still.
Yeah, and it won't be beautiful, and I'm like, I don't think Juwan's going to be the number 1 tight end of the week, but I think he'll be a top 5 guy.
You like him more than Loveland this week?
Ooh, that's a tough call.
Loveland's against Philly.
I think I do. The process would be Juwan over Loveland, but he's
Mr. Loveland.
Mr. Love. I'm sorry, Mr. Loveland. Juwan has the 4th most receiving yards at the tight end position this year right now.
Yeah,
so he's been solid. We haven't really had our super spike week yet, so maybe it's this week.
He had a little injury blip.
Yeah,
and
he
then
did.
You've had the trade, and maybe it's time to get back on board. That was Starts of the Week presented by Tostitos. Tostitos is The proud Chip and Dip sponsor of the NFL again this season, sold nationwide online or at your local grocery store. Visit Tostitos.com for more information.
Dude, I love them. I love the
There's a
producers. But the Megalodon episode, I enjoy it because, we're usually trying to keep this tight, like not go too
Right.
long. And I feel like I don't care at all about the time in this episode.
They do.
Yeah, they care. They
My
want us
favorite
to hurry
part,
it along.
every time I hit the Deucer's camera, it's a slow head shake from Al Borland.
Yeah.
He's
he
just
d-
like,
he doesn't want to
who is really committed to wearing the hat no matter what.
Well,
He's got the hat on.
Yeah, it's
Man, I don't know
even
what
extra hot with the hat.
I mean, you are just a shadow man.
But before we move on,
Okay.
since it's the Megalodon,
Oh, what do
I
we-
got one special thing for the Foot Clan out there. Hit it, Jer.
What?
That's right.
Jason Moore's Ironclad, locked and loaded, 100% guaranteed boom boom
Oh, my
kicker
God.
of the week.
That's right, baby.
All the people are going to be so happy.
Oh, yeah, like a true ranch hand, I mounted the Mega and began screaming and flinging his poop.
Oh, my God.
Armed with 2 tons of duca, and I, his trusty bazooka, we laid waste like the Ravens' Tyler Loop.
oh,
I did not expect that to ever return to this show.
And it will never come back again.
I do wonder how much of this was you discovered a kicker's last name was Loop.
Yeah, I could rhyme
You
that. I
could
could
not-
work with that.
You could not resist.
Finally, someone gave me something to work with.
Tyler Loop.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was I'll be honest, you know what I thought you were going to do? Because I saw you whisper earlier, right before the show. Do you know what?
I had a guess.
I thought you were going to put yourself in the Ring of Honor.
I thought you were going to put yourself in the Ring of Honor.
I thought you were coming to the Ring of Honor.
Oh, I should have. Oh, my gosh,
I
should
thought
have.
that was 100% what was
That's
going
what
to
I
happen.
thought.
Coming. I got to make a note.
But you did a great job. And, well, shoot, let's take
I
another.
mean, guys, it's just me.
Yeah,
I know.
In the
Still just
Fantasy
you.
Footballers Ring of Honor.
Just you,
I don't
Mike.
have that gumption.
You got to self-introduce yourself. All right, we will take another quick break and come back with our fantasy forecast. I mean, I can see the Twitter comments. They're going to be thrilled.
Yeah.
You brought it back for the people.
For the people.
On the Megalodon show.
Full of poop.
As always.
Yeah.
Fantasy Forecast, presented by Prize Picks.
You were his trusty bazooka.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice. All right, we said it already. No bye weeks this week. We have 3 Thanksgiving Day matchups, so we'll jump right into the Thanksgiving Day slate. The Green Bay Packers at 7-3-1, going to Detroit. Detroit's 7-4. The Vegas line, Detroit -2.5. The over/under 48.5. I feel like I was pretty wrong about Detroit coming out and kind of doing what they wanted to do last week. I thought after the loss they would do that. They end up in overtime.
Slow start, but then Jahmyr Gibbs was like, I got this.
Yeah, but it took overtime. I mean, they should have lost that game. It shows me that, it's kind of like it's not Buffalo, because Buffalo, I think we've seen more significant issues.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit like Buffalo in the fact that not every game has gone the way Detroit's games went last year. They've struggled a little bit. They're figuring things out on offense. They've had to change play callers. And I think this game is going to be pretty exciting. I think the 2.5-point line, Green Bay did win in week 1, 27-13. This division is tight. 8-3 Bears, 7-3 Packers, 7-4 Lions. That tie might come into play in a big way this year. But, you look at what the Detroit offense has done with Dan Campbell calling the play, 64% neutral pass rate. It was only 51% with John Morton. He's a big fat liar also about David Montgomery's workload,
Yeah.
because when push comes to shove, Gibbs gets it done.
Yeah, I mean, last week I thought would be a good week for Monty, the same way that you thought it would be a good week for Detroit.
Yeah.
I think if things
But
are
they'd be
going
in control of the game.
Yeah, exactly. But this, ironically, projects to not be one of those games. And so you would not think this is a good game for David Montgomery, that they will require Jahmyr Gibbs to have the bulk of the work.
Jahmyr Gibbs has been targeted. on 38% of his routes since Dan Campbell took over, the highest rate of any player in the National Football League.
Makes sense.
That's not the problem in this game in terms of your start-sit decisions. You play Jahmyr Gibbs, and if Josh Jacobs is active, you play him with a slight terror in your soul because it's Detroit, and it might not be a full workload.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Jacobs right now, and it's like I'm starting him definitely over David Montgomery. But he's in that category where I'm looking at Chris Olave. I'm looking at Rome Odunze. Currently, I have Josh Jacobs started over Rome Odunze, and that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would do the same. Is there a world where, Mike, you talked about Kenny Gainwell, right? And that committee situation. Do you see any world that you would play Emmanuel Wilson after what he did last week if Jacobs is active?
Oh, I can see an argument for it, but I would expect that if they timeshare, that when they get close to the end zone, like the high-value touches will still go to Jacobs. So I think that I wouldn't be excited to play Wilson.
Yeah, and it's a tough matchup. I mean, the Lions have for years been one of the most difficult rushing matchups.
Yeah, these are, the Packers defense is great. The running defense for the Lions has been great. Christian Watson, Jason, you made him your start of the week. I am curious if pan over to Mike here, if you're looking at the boom bust of Christian Watson and the boom bust of Jameson Williams, last week was very painful for those that had the 3 straight weeks of Jameson Williams dominance. Which of those two players would you play in your lineup this week?
I lean still Jameson Williams. I do remember he had multiple big plays called back because of dumb penalties. I'm with Jason. I like Watson. Like I'm playing him as a wide receiver 2-3 type of a play this week. But Jameson Williams is there too, and I think the ceiling is still higher for Williams. And I mean, maybe it's just narrative and stuff. But Jared Goff has been pretty good on Thanksgiving, over his last 4 or 5 years.
Are you making a Jordan Love decision this week?
No.
Okay.
No, Jordan Love.
And Goff, no, because of the Packers defense?
I think Goff could be in play. I'd certainly start him over Jordan Love, them being at home. But there's probably better options out there.
Anybody else from this game you guys think are worthy of talking about? Other wide receivers on Green Bay that you care about?
I mean, if Jaden Reed comes back, are you willing to play him?
Not. No, but I'd be a lot happier for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And then Monty is hitting the bench, Jason?
Yeah, Monty.
I would
time
not
to
want
bench
to play him.
Percentage of rushing attempts at running back for him, 48%, 33%, 25%.
I mean, he hasn't been inside the top 20 at running back since week 5.
It's wild because
he is probably the most valuable insurance back should something happen to Gibbs, but outside of that.
Man, he didn't used to be an insurance back.
No, he didn't.
You always had the amazing strength to start him. Like, I've been expecting this to happen in this backfield
for the last 2 years.
For 2 years,
yeah.
And it's always been Monty finds a way to score, and that's a little bit of why the offense doesn't seem the same. Because they'd have those first drives of the game, and you'd have the touchdowns by Monty. It's been a little off.
I agree.
The Kansas City Chiefs at 6-5 take on the Dallas Cowboys 5-5-1.
Get that over under.
I mean, this one is important. Kansas City minus 3.5 and Dallas over under 52.5.
Woo!
This is exciting. This is a fun game for Thanksgiving.
I hope so, man.
I mean, you're going to end up with either, Kansas City could be back at 500 after this one. Dallas, they're fighting for their lives. Huge comeback win last week. I mean, I don't know. The defense is improving. So we'll see what happens. Dak is my start of the week at quarterback. Mahomes, you have to play him in this game.
Yes.
And the news, we had some reports of George Pickens' injury, knee, calf, but he was limited on Tuesday. A kneecap.
Yeah.
His kneecap hurted.
That's how I like my coffee.
Okay.
Swish!
Oh.
Swish!
Jason just took 4 seconds to get it.
Yeah, I was trying.
Yeah, but he's dumb. It's also I don't.
Let me hear you.
I don't actually like my coffee like that, so I don't even.
And of course, the Falcon loved that joke. All right, so
yeah, how does that make you feel? Knowing that the Falcon enjoyed that joke?
said swish, and I will say nothing else.
All right.
Do you have a prediction in this game?
Of a winner?
Yeah. Every time I've tried to pick Dallas to be the almost upset and pull it off, they always have that letdown game. That's what I'm worried about in this one.
I am terrified of the massive letdown game from the Cowboys because the Chiefs' defense is really good. Now, the Eagles' defense is very good, but there is whenever there's a divisional game, Cowboys, Eagles,
Right,
they're used
yeah,
to
yeah.
seeing each other. They get up for that. Obviously, you get up for the Chiefs and Mahomes and all of that, but I think there's a world where the Chiefs come in here and shut down the Cowboys. That's my biggest fear.
Spankopotamus.
I love the 52.5 point over-under. It gives me more confidence to play the Cowboys players. I think the hardest one right now is probably Javonte.
Yeah,
I'm playing
the Chiefs
Javonte.
number 2 against running backs, only giving up 13 fantasy points a week, but I think you probably start your RB7 on the year.
Like Javonte or Trayvon Henderson against the Giants.
And that matchup is
Trevo.
really good for Trevo.
Okay.
And like I said, I would play R.J. Harvey over him. So
Okay.
I'm not saying like bench Javonte, but I do think if you have good options, there might be in consideration for
So, can I make a counter argument?
Yeah.
Philadelphia was the running back 4. So I'm looking at his tough matchups on the year. Green Bay.
Are you
Green
talking
Bay,
about week 1?
Yep.
Okay.
Green Bay, he was the running back 14. That's a tough matchup. Denver, tough matchup. Running back 10. And then last week against Philly, running back 19. So I guess
He's going to be involved,
I
and you
feel
can
like you're
certainly
going to
play
have
him.
a decent floor that isn't going to go away.
I would agree with that. He's got a floor of 7.5 points.
Kareem Hunt was dominant last week, 30 opportunities and 100 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco should be back. Are you still going Kareem Hunt over Pacheco?
I would definitely go Kareem Hunt over Pacheco. I think if they get around the goal line, it's going to be Hunt. Hunt is great there, and you're looking for touchdowns. I don't really want to start any of them, but definitely it would be Hunt as the first man up.
Are you in agreement, Mike?
Yeah, I lean that way.
But do you feel a little bit hesitant on both of them? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the rushing defense in particular for Dallas, they were 25th in terms of fantasy points allowed. They're number 10 now in terms of the last 6 weeks. So they have shored that up. Receiver-wise, is it Rashee Rice and no one else?
Yep. It's definitely not
Yep.
Xavier Worthy. He had 8 targets last week. That was his most in months, and it still was an irrelevant game. He's an explosive athlete that could get a touchdown. The matchup is
I was
great
going to
against.
tell you, he's my touchdown guarantee for the week.
For real?
Yeah, Xavier Worthy is.
Oh, then you got to play him.
That's my touchdown
If
guarantee.
he gets the
Wow.
touchdown, you're going to be happy you played him. And you heard it here. It's a guarantee.
It's been a while.
Andy is personally guaranteeing
Right.
for your lineup.
I feel like if Worthy gets a touchdown in this game, it will be a big one.
Wow.
That's my
I'm changing my opinion. Then I'm definitely starting.
That's my touchdown guarantee of the week.
Okay. All
Xavier Worthy. I have a strong conviction on that one. Jake Ferguson would be the one player. The Chiefs have struggled against tight ends over the last 6 weeks. Would you play Jake Ferguson, or would you go back to Kyle Pitts after a down week?
Ferguson.
You'd go Ferguson?
Yes.
I agree.
Just love the over-under and situation in this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cincinnati is 3-8. They take on the 6-5 Baltimore Ravens. Our last Thanksgiving Day game. The Ravens have the highest implied point total of any team in Week 13 at 29.3 against Cincinnati. Baltimore -7. Over/under 51.5. For Thanksgiving Day games, to have a 48.5, 52.5, 51.5.
Yeah, we are loving it.
Thanksgiving's gonna
that
be
is
awesome.
3 sick turkeys right there. 3 sick turkeys on Thanksgiving. I'm all for it. Let's get the points. Cincinnati 3-8. It'll be Joe Burrow's return. So, are you excited about that?
Yeah.
Is that the
It's just the dude hasn't played football in a very, very long time.
that's the Saved by the Bell?
Yeah,
You're
so
so
excited,
excited,
so
so
scared.
scared.
Yes, yeah. You must be. You must be excited and scared for Joe Burrow. Hasn't played in a very long time. Historically, not a fast starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. So I wonder if that hangover happens to him against Baltimore. But if I have him, I'm playing him over. It's like Goff or Burrow. I'm playing Burrow.
You're playing Jackson Dart over Burrow if he's healthy and back out there?
Man, I will have to make that decision, but as of right now, I would just play Burrow.
The crazy thing is Baltimore's defense, number 3 against fantasy quarterbacks in the last 6 weeks. Number 4 against running backs. 2 against tight ends.
Their defense has been great.
It's been a big deal.
And it needs to be because Lamar is banged up. He has not been running the same. I mean, he's dealing with now the toe injury. So, yeah, their defense has stepped up, and I worry a little bit about this game. Usually when you see the Bengals and the Ravens, a high over-under, the Ravens defense being as injured as it was early this year, the Bengals defense being what it is, you just want every piece in the game. And this is a primetime Turkey Day game. It has everything you want, but man, Lamar just scares me with the way he's been playing lately.
This is a pretty important game for getting back on track for Lamar if he struggles at home with the highest implied point total of the year,
it will feel
against
bad.
Cincinnati, you will have trepidation towards the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, and these two teams play each other in 3 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, Lamar right now in this matchup, I don't see how you sit him down even with the bad performances.
Agreed.
Derrick Henry, it's cold outside. Say no more. I mean, Derrick Henry at this time of year.
If you adjust for schedule, the Bengals are 32nd of 32 teams at fantasy points given up to the running back. 31st. So, yeah, I think that the snow. I mean, stay safe if you're in Vermont because you're going to get snowed in.
Start of the week, Mark Andrews in this game at tight end. You won't have T. Higgins. So, Mike, you have your start of the week of Andre Yoshivas. We've talked a lot about this game. You're playing Chase, of course, and you're playing Chase Brown, who's been a top 15 running back in 5 consecutive weeks.
Yeah, the question will be Samaje Perine, who is fully practicing. He's going to play. I mean, it was not hard to see an uptick of work for Chase Brown while Perine has been out, I believe, with the ankle injury. I don't think Perine comes in immediately and takes all of his work back, but that will be the thing to watch if you got Chase Brown.
Okay. And then the Zay Flowers, every week we say the same thing, which is high floor and a 6-foot ceiling, which works for him. It does work for him.
Give him a 7. I'll give him a 7-foot ceiling.
He's comfortable in 6.
Yeah.
He's fine. All right. Black Friday game, Chicago, 8-3. The Eagles 8-3. Oh, boy. This is when things could really get wild for Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
If they could find a way here, which I can't find the way that they find the way, but you don't know. I mean, Philadelphia 7-point favorites, over under 44.5. That's not a lot. Man, this is a battle between teams that have been awesome in one-score games, which I could see this being. Chicago 6-1, Philly 7-2. The 2 and 3 seed in the NFC right now, behind Los Angeles. I mean, Chicago already is a great story. Chicago as a possible bye week contender.
Yeah.
That's an incredible story. And these are two teams that turn the other teams over a lot. Chicago's number 1 in turnover differential. If you win one-score games and you turn the other team over, your quarterback can run like his tail's on fire. I mean, the frenetic, Mike, you guys had been in here and had your little oh crap.
Yeah.
Like the way Caleb plays quarterback. Yep. I saw it this past week with Jason. It was like, oh my gosh, every play feels like there's 1 second on the clock. It's crazy.
Yep.
So
sorry, we got to take a break for real life. Because sometimes on this show, we hate giving our advice. We give it, but we hate it because this is what we're going to be doing.
Oh, my gosh.
And on this Saturday, I had messaged Kyle, and I was like, I put the receipt in there, and I said, am I crazy to think that the Saints might be our playoff DST?
This is legal record. Jason brought it up on
Just
the show
because you said that doesn't mean you made a bid earlier.
I already had a bid in on it. I 100% had a bid.
Jason's so happy.
My bid went up.
Yeah.
But my bid was already $3.
Oh,
and yours was 0. So,
and then I made the joke that his bid was really 5.
Yeah, so I went to 6.
6.
Yeah.
So you just took the Saints D.
Yeah.
And Jason, you don't have them.
I don't have them now.
I didn't realize what was happening.
The Saints suck, Mike.
Trust me, I know. I was very hesitant. I wasn't.
He's so mad.
I wasn't even going to pick them up this week. I was going to
Till
wait.
you said something.
And then I saw no. I saw it in the doc, and I'm like,
Yeah, until I put it in the doc, and you're like, oh,
yeah, well,
I got to do it now.
because you put it in the doc. I knew that you were going to be in on them, and I was like, well,
So had I not done that, I would have got them for 0, just like I expected. But because I
very possible, yeah.
Hey, brother,
Yeah.
brother, you got a lucrative fantasy football podcast that you help run.
I don't care. I want a championship and league of record. Okay, I'll trade it all.
Yeah, no, but the bid was already in. It got increased. So
man.
hey,
Fight.
you siphoned Fab away from me for nothing.
Okay, well, farts.
You need a turkey outfit?
For Mike.
Okay, all right. Back to this game, Chicago, Philadelphia. Caleb Williams. This is wild. He's been a top 10 quarterback 6 times. He's been QB 20 or worse 5 times and nothing else in between. He's never been quarterback 11 through 19.
It's really tough to think that he's going to be top 10 this week against the Eagles defense. Caleb can get under pressure, can get rattled. We enjoy watching him, when he drops back and gets pressure, just going like, oh no. He's been playing great, making plays, passing touchdowns, finishing well for fantasy. But the matchup really is difficult to say this is a week to plug Caleb in your lineup. I would be trepidatious. I mean, they're only implied for 18 points.
And he's had his big games, a lot of them against bad defenses. So
The ultimate streamer, Jacoby Brissett.
of
Brissett
course.
for sure.
Okay.
I don't think Brissett is a streamer anymore. I really don't. He's just someone you need to be starting every week.
I agree with that, but it's roster percentage.
Right,
I'm
I
sure
guess
it
he's still
has
available.
to have gone up.
I mean, there wasn't like Brissett is in lineups for me this week everywhere. And I'm not even thinking about the Jordan Love, Brissett, those type of questions. Golfer Brissett. I'll just play Brissett. Jalen Hurts, though, you play him, you play Saquon, you play A.J. Brown, and then you make sure Devontae Smith is okay.
Right. He's dealing with a shoulder-chest injury. He did not participate.
Shoulder-chest.
Did not participate in practice on Tuesday, so just monitor that. If he plays, you play him. It's a great matchup against the Bears. They give up a lot of fantasy points to wide receivers. The real question is the wide receivers, just all the receiving
All the pass
options,
catching.
all the pass catchers. Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, Colson Loveland. I'll say Luther Burden's name, but you shouldn't be starting him.
I'm still on team stash him. I agree that the most likely outcome is it doesn't happen for Burden this year, but he is the type of player in a situation where over the last 4 or 5 weeks he could really take off.
I just don't agree.
What do you do with Odunze? The first month of the season, he was the wide receiver 3 in fantasy. He has continued since that time to be the target leader on the team, and yet he is the wide receiver 44 in fantasy, and he's pulling a CeeDee Lamb. Apparently, when I bring guys onto my roster, they don't know how to catch the ball.
That's true.
He's dropping it like it's hot.
You put too much pressure on your guys.
Well,
That's what it is.
they need to.
You're a real Vrabel.
That's fine. Vrabel gets it done. They
Yeah.
need to perform under pressure.
Well, they're not for you. I still look at Odunze as a must-start type of guy. Now, this matchup,
Would you start him over?
what
Josh
tier
Jacobs?
are we in? Would I start
In the
Odunze?
flex?
No, I would not start Odunze over Jacobs. Earlier, I agreed with you. I'd play Odunze. I'd play Jacobs. Christian Watson, Roma Odunze. Is that a question for you? Troy
Yeah.
Franklin, Roma Odunze. Michael Pittman, Roma Odunze.
I would play Michael Pittman and Christian Watson ahead of Rome.
I mean,
right
Houston's
now.
not a good matchup for Pittman either. Those are back-to-back in our rankings.
That's true. Pittman
Troy
has.
Franklin, though, I might play him over both those guys this week.
Yeah. I thought about making him a start of the week.
Troy Franklin? Troy?
Just all Broncos all the time.
Yeah, I mean it should be a good offensive.
Would you play Shakir with how much of a target share he's been getting, or would you play Roma Odunze, Mike?
I would play Rome.
Okay. It's going to get better, Jay.
It might.
It's going to get better. Colston Loveland or Brenton Strange against Tennessee.
As Mr. Love.
Mr. Loveland.
That's the love maker.
Or,
love maker.
did you say or Brenton Strange?
Don't search that one.
Okay.
Uh,
Brenton Strange against Tennessee or the love maker?
This week I'm going Brenton Strange. I completely agree with what you guys said yesterday on the waiver wire show, though, that if you need to roster one tight end, the rest of season for Loveland is far more valuable than Strange. So on a weekly basis, I would start Strange, but I'd rather have Loveland.
One thing that is working in Strange's favor is the way the wide receiver room has changed since he had left, right? You have no Hunter, no Brian Thomas Jr. Parker Washington can't carry it all. I'm kind of interested in that, and I think I'd play him. He'd be the one over the upside of Colston Loveland this week. Philly's just such a good defense. The other receiving options, DJ Moore just randomly shows up at times and then is gone at other times. I just hesitate. And then the running backs, I feel the same way. It's just a little nerve-wracking this week. Everybody on Chicago, it feels a little bit scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. DJ Moore is a guy that you really can't play. I mean, he was 2 touchdowns last week, 20 points. And then a month ago, he was 21 points with a touchdown, a big game. And outside of those 2 games, he's pretty much been irrelevant the entire season.
Yeah. Anybody else from this matchup you want to talk about, Mike?
DJ Moore's 3 games over 10 points.
Yeah.
That is.
How many games does I guess Adunze probably is a lot more than that.
Rome, yeah, he's got to have more. So 6.
Okay. Yeah, we that's it for that's the Black Friday game. That one will be fun too.
Yes.
That one is an early game though. Right about 1 o'clock our time? 3 Eastern? That's what I'm seeing.
I guess I haven't considered the time.
And as a reminder, we talk about it every time that there is a Thursday night matchup to get those guys out of your flex and put them in your lineup. But with so many games being early this week, double check and make sure all your Thanksgiving and your Black Friday players, put them in the running back and wide receiver slots. Leave your flex open as the week goes on.
Yeah, that's a big deal this week. So what we'll do is we'll take another break and we'll get into the Sunday matchups. All right, into the Sunday matchups we go.
The Deucers look so stupid.
I was thinking
they look
that.
so stupid.
One of them's got their mouth full
Falcon,
with snacks.
Tell me how it feels in the costume right this second.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Just caught red-handed.
Little megala snack.
Yeah, just munching away on our dime over there.
On our time? Like our employees can't eat?
Well, not
You can't eat on my watch.
How dare you eat those snacks?
Who paid for that snack? Huh?
You did.
Yeah. See?
What? So?
What
is the? You're trying to attack him. You just have nothing.
Look, we're in the middle of a show.
You could say he's got too big of a bite or whatever he's eating over
He's
there.
been chewing that for 12 minutes. I've been watching.
Only been on break for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, we are back into the Sunday game. San Francisco 7-4, Cleveland 3-8. Vegas line San Francisco minus 4.5. The over/under is 36.5. The line opened at 40, but it's down to 36.5.
Oh,
I think that makes sense.
We do have some weather.
oh man.
We got some weathery concerns here. Just a nice 38 degrees out, rain, snow, wind potential.
Cool.
You got Shador. 2 weeks of practice for Shador.
Oh.
He grew up kind of living that hard knock life. I don't think this weather is really going to affect him much. He's
Shador?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited that he's playing again.
Yeah.
But wasn't the most impressive week for Brock Purdy. We know this. And it probably won't be again. Like, if you have the Browns defense, like they're in, like I let Jacksonville's defense go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing the Browns. The Browns are just too good. They sacked the quarterback. They have the weather situation. I still don't understand how Christian McCaffrey is open on every play for a pass whenever they want to do that for all of eternity. But, yeah, I don't know how complicated this game really is for fantasy purposes. I'll be excited to see Shador start. But Christian McCaffrey, you're playing him. Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah, he's a good start. He's at home.
Yeah.
Bad weather. You're going to have to run the ball. And you can the 49ers defense is really middle of the pack. They're not terrible. They're not great. So I don't view them as anything but an average defense at this point.
You could argue they're on the more terrible side.
Yeah, they've
Statistically.
They've had a lot of injuries, but yeah I agree.
Yeah, because of the injuries.
Sure.
George Kittle, you play, and I don't know if you touch another player in the game. I don't think you mess with wide receivers from San Francisco against the number 1 pass defense in football.
Yeah, it's not a great matchup. I obviously, I think most everybody would say that Juwan Jennings would be the player to target.
Yeah, I suppose.
Is he doing okay?
Kittle is the
He's got to be recovered by now.
deep
I don't
breath,
know.
deep breath, Juwan. I think it's Kittle, McCaffrey on that side, Quinshon Judkins on the other, and that's it. This game is real easy.
What, no Fannin?
No, I don't think so. I don't want Shador in bad weather. I mean, Shador, I feel like, could end up throwing for 100 yards. And so it's like, okay, great. Maybe Fannin gets, 40% of all the yards. I don't know.
Well, that would be what he had last week. He was 4 for 40.
Yeah, Njoku's back as well. So I'm not excited about any pass catcher.
Have you punished me by just like removing the button from my screen? Is that what it is? I don't get a button on this one.
Oh, okay.
I don't even
can see it.
Andy's almost upset of the week.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you for taking it off the board.
It was not intended
to get me to be clear, but I'll go with the almost upset here in the weather game for Cleveland and that defense. And after we saw that from Purdy, all right, the Jacksonville Jaguars, winners of 2 consecutive awards for the burnt dinner rolls. If you don't know who the Jacksonville Jaguars are,
Oh yeah,
taking on the 1-10 Tennessee Titans. Vegas line here, Jacksonville -6.5. Over-under is 41.5. So,
has there ever been a less impressive 7-4 team? Like, I look at the Jaguars, and I think their defense is pretty good.
They're 1 game out of the division, man.
I know, but it's like I don't view them as this really tough opponent. Now, obviously, here going to play Tennessee, they're probably going to be 8-4. The Titans have only beat the Arizona Cardinals in a game that the Cardinals gave away, but the Titans are playing better football. It's just an interesting, like, when I look at Jacksonville, they feel a little phony to me.
I mean, they're putting up points. 30 against Vegas, 29 against Houston. They lost, but 29 points.
29 against Houston is
35
impressive.
against the Chargers and 27 against Arizona.
They did. Maybe I need to give them a little bit more respect because they beat the tarnation out of the Chargers.
yeah, they would be in the midst of a great winning streak if they hadn't blown a huge lead against Houston.
Yeah, that was all in the fourth quarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. So
maybe they're okay.
yeah,
But
honestly, I think they're as funny as Mr.
Duval.
Like, I think he's done a great job. And Travis Etienne has been awesome. He's been a top 12 running back in 4 consecutive games. He's too important to the offense, I feel like, right now with the absence of Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter. I feel like you can be – like, are you feeling confident about Travis Etienne, Jason, or are you worried about when the shoe's going to drop?
No, I mean, it's a matchup thing to me, so I am feeling confident about Travis Etienne this week playing against the Titans in a game where you're, favored by basically a touchdown. Travis Etienne, it was scary a couple weeks ago. Tootin seemed like he was the hot hand, was running ahead of him. Then he got banged up. He practiced, though, and played last week, and he was very much not. It was
Etienne.
It was the Etienne show. So I'm not sure if that's entirely because of health and just kind of resting Tootin a little bit more. But I'm not worried about Etienne. I think he is a good play this week, and most weeks he's going to be a good play. I mean, what is he? He's a running back 1 right now on the season.
He's top 12.
So and
last month has been fantastic.
And then I think the big question is Brian Thomas Jr. We talk about it a lot. Usually with a high ankle sprain, you miss 3 games. He didn't go on IR. He has missed 3 games.
I think we had a comment. Liam Cohen saying they'll take it day by day with Brian Thomas Jr.'s ankle return. Definitely need his presence.
Yeah, I think Brian Thomas should be back this week.
Okay.
Are you?
If he's not, I'm very confident in Parker Washington. Let me put it that way.
Are you immediately playing Brian Thomas?
I would play Brian Thomas if he's back. I mean, it's obviously a matter of who do you have, but if we want to look at some options. Alec Pierce against Houston, I would go Brian Thomas.
The new hotness, Wan'Dale Robinson against the Patriots.
I'm going to say
that's disgusting.
Yeah, I'll go
question.
Wan'Dale.
Yeah, I think I'll go Wan'Dale.
There was a Quentin Johnston or Brian Thomas Jr. question on the site for those nauseated and that want to become more nauseated.
I think
Johnston against the Raiders.
Play huge.
I'm going to go
You
Brian
play
Thomas.
Michael Wilson over Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the flames of those guys, the Wan'Dales and the Michael Wilsons, the guys who have really come on strong. I will play them and give Brian Thomas a week, but if I don't have
I don't think he's going to play, man.
Yeah,
I don't think
you
he's
really
play.
don't.
No.
And where are you at on Jacoby? I mean,
Jacoby's all right.
We've been ramping up 44%, 65%, 84% of the snaps.
I'm fine. I'm
4
fine
for
flexing
50
him.
with the touchdown.
Tennessee's 30th against wide receivers.
Is it contingent on Brian Thomas, or are you just
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if Thomas is out, Jacoby's in.
Yeah. Honestly, like if Brian Thomas is back, it gives me a little bit of
You don't really want to play anyone?
sort of, and even Brenton Strange gets a little more nerve-wracking for me because I like the consolidation of targets, and that would make me a little nervous. We talked about Chimere DK in the backup options section on the other side. If you're desperate, if it's a bigger league, you need somebody, I think he's okay to throw in there, but not with high expectations.
Sure.
And then if you're in like nasty boy deep dynasty leagues, please pay attention to the involvement of their young rookie tight end Gunnar Helm. The last 2 weeks, it's been pretty good. 6 for 51 this past week. So just keep an eye on him for deeper leagues. Maybe somebody you pick up off of the waiver wire and stash in that situation. But
does it surprise you guys like it does me that Tony Pollard is like he played the last 2 weeks?
it's like he didn't.
He's
10
getting
for 20.
I haven't really thought about Tony Pollard in quite some time.
He is getting so much opportunity. I believe he's on pace for 260 plus opportunities.
That's 16 against Seattle, 13 against Houston.
I mean, that's wonderful. If you tell me I get a running back with 260 plus opportunities on a season who hasn't missed a game, then he's got fantasy value, and there's none. He's on pace for 800 yards on the season.
Since they fired their coach, he's on pace for 600.
Kyle's message, he's currently on pace for what the lowest fantasy points per game of any running back with 250 touches.
He's the invisible
2010.
man. He really is.
That's what I mean.
He's the invisible. He's like he's on IR while he's playing.
And that does not mean that Spears is getting anything done.
No, goodness,
which
no.
is it's weird. How is no one doing anything?
Bad team. Bad team.
But they scored 24 points.
Yeah. Chimere DK returned to kick.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Anything else from this matchup?
No, please no.
Please no.
Houston 6-5. The Colts 8-3. This is more fun. Vegas line here. Indy -4.5. Over under 44.5. Implied point total of 20 for Houston. 24 for the Colts. There have been a couple games this year where Indy just doesn't feel overpowering, right? Like they've had the games where they seem like a machine. You've had a little bit of a down spell for Jonathan Taylor, at least. Not really. I mean, you had the bye week, and then you had to come out of the bye week, and he didn't win you your week, and that's considered a down spell for him.
It
but
sure was.
What a pathetic loser.
All of the losses for Houston on the entire year, all 5 of them are one-score losses. So they have been in literally every single game, and really the underperformance of the offense has probably been the difference. Couldn't make big plays at the end. They have been making them. All their losses have been against playoff teams, the Rams, Buccaneers, Jacksonville, Seattle, and Denver. So Houston, I think, is much better than people give them credit for, and you're starting to see it now with the way the defense is played and the fact they're above 500. And then this game is what would you call it, Jason? A litmus test?
Litmus test with an N.
Down with the litness.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a note. CJ Stroud is expected to return for this game. Does that give you more confidence or less confidence?
I'm still on team Stroud's better for you.
Yeah. I think Mills is
not for the Texans. I'm saying like Nico Collins.
Yes.
If you're starting Nico Collins, if you're starting Dalton Schultz. Like Dalton Schultz has really been much better with, it could just be happenstance of the time and the specific.
There was a
matchups
couple
in the
good games in there with Stroud, though.
Yeah, I was going to say he put up a quarterback 4 week against Baltimore when they were still struggling, but he also put up a quarterback 4 week against San Francisco in week 8. So out of his last 4 starts, you had 2 top 5 performances. I think it's probably being overplayed. Like their defense has been carrying. Davis Mills has definitely executed the offense very well. But I think it's a lot like Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. You could kind of be like, oh man, we've won the games with Mac Jones, but it's like, do you get to where you need to go with Mac Jones, or do you need to bring Brock Purdy back for that? So I don't, I like Woody Marks in this game. You always play Nico Collins. Jason, you like Dalton Schultz in this game, which, I think those are all
matchup makes sense.
Those are all exciting matchup plays. On the other side, Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones. Like, where are you with Daniel Jones right now and the other options that you might have?
There has not been one quarterback 1 performance, and they've played against Houston. They just made Josh Allen look inept. I mean, they were in his face every single play, and he had one of his worst games of the season. I can't imagine playing Daniel Jones in this matchup.
I got 2 names that are in the start-sit tool for Daniel Jones versus
Let's hear it.
Joe Burrow on Thursday.
Burrow for sure.
And then the other one is Jordan Love against
Ooh.
Detroit.
I
think I'd be willing to go Jordan Love.
I'm going to go Jordan Love there, yeah.
So does that sap your confidence for Pittman and Pierce?
Yeah,
and even Tyler Warren?
The matchup is definitely one where, like, I've got Michael Pittman. He's in my lineup, but I'm holding my breath. I don't expect it to be great. The matchup for Pierce, probably even lower confidence, looking elsewhere.
Pierce or Slayton?
Slayton's just been dealing with the hamstring issue. I think you've got to
Pierce
go
or
Pierce
Michael Carter in a flex?
Pierce. You're going real low.
I'm going to my line.
Oh, you're going to your line.
How did you not see what was happening?
Mike knew it right away.
Who has these disgusting questions?
Yeah, why? Who's grossing me out, man?
Of course you're playing Pierce.
Over Michael Carter?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure. That's how I have it set up, boys.
Congrats.
Nice.
Trying to survive. Okay, so Tyler Warren, he's your tight end. You're going to play your tight end.
Yeah.
And I think Warren can have a pretty instrumental role in fantasy championships this year. I think you're going to have some opportunities there when you get into the fantasy playoffs. Tyler Warren is going to be right there for you. Anybody else in the receiving room? I mean, 6 targets last week for Christian Kirk. Jaden Higgins been making some plays. Are you going beyond Nico?
I think that Higgins is an okay play, but no, I'm not going to force him in.
Yeah, I agree. And to speak to your point, Andy, in the playoffs, the Indianapolis Colts have the 3rd best strength of schedule for the playoffs at the tight end position. So Tyler Warren's been kind of a little bit down after his hot start to the season, but he's got that dog, and the schedule will open up.
All right, Mike's fantasy defense, Mike Wright,
Yes.
in the League of Record. The New Orleans
Yes.
Saints at 2-9 take on the Miami Dolphins at 4-7. I was waiting for the head shake, Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, does this make you feel any better?
Hey, look
Hey,
at
that
him.
does
the
make me feel
turkeys.
better. Hey, Doozers, you guys look
Can we
stupid.
get your best gobble? I
Oh,
can't
yeah,
believe we
yeah.
didn't ask for that.
Well, one at a time.
All right, that was Al Borland.
That was pretty good.
Not
that was
bad.
not as good. And you never disappoint. Oh.
All right, I'm going to put hashtag triple
what is
gobble
wrong
into
with
the
your
Oh,
vocal
hashtag
cords?
triple gobble.
triple gobble.
Okay.
That might be it.
Maybe.
It could
I've
be it.
got some in
The only problem
consideration
with
here.
triple gobble.
It's like a
And
triple
I know
double.
this is my problem and mine only. But I always want to put 2 P's in the word triple. Always.
Oh, triple.
You're the only one that will do that, though.
Triple.
That-
Triple double.
I don't think that'll be a problem for the rest
Okay,
of the
yeah.
world. So we'll consider that one as well. We'll announce that hashtag
We gotta
soon
figure it
enough.
out, yeah.
I've got 3 in consideration right now, so we'll see. The Saints 2-9, Miami 4-7, Miami -6 in this one, over under 41.5. Okay, not a lot of start-sit decisions coming out of these next 2 matchups, but let's go to the big names. I think that is, Achan's an every week start. You don't have to talk about it. I think on the other side, you're having the Devin Neal conversation, right? You're going to see Devin Neal with opportunity. I think the 5 catches on 7 targets last week was interesting. One of the reasons that you like Juwan Johnson is this has been consolidated, right? It's been Olave and Johnson. Devin Neal can get worked into that rotation. They're heavy underdogs, but
I like Devin Neal a lot. I think if you picked Devin Neal up, you probably are going to play him this week. I see him as a running back too. Not that he's got some crazy ceiling this week, but the involvement, he should touch the ball 15 times in a game against a middle-of-the-road defense against the run. And I believe Devin Neal is talented. So not that he's, elite by any means. He's a 6th-round rookie pick, but he's very competent.
Olave is in your lineup.
Mhm.
Waddle in your lineup.
Yeah.
Juwan Johnson is Mike's start of the week at the tight end position. The Miami storyline this year has been so weird because they are still fighting for their coach. The over-under in this one's just 41.
Gross.
So, HN is going to be fine. He just gets so much work. I hope we get another bounce-back game from Waddle. I hope that's, I think he's been. You're shaking your head. You're not so sure.
I mean, I'm playing him pretty much no matter what as a top 15 option. But the the Saints defense, like we pointed out, they're not the worst. And right now, I mean, they're 11th against fantasy wide receivers over the past 6 weeks, so it's been tougher.
Let me ask you some Devin Neal questions because 4 of the top 8 start-sit questions
Makes
on the
sense.
entire week are Devin Neal.
Yeah.
So these are the names that people are deciding on. Devin Neal or Woody Marks? I'm
I think
very
Woody.
much on the Woody
I think I'm
side.
the Woody Marks
Yeah,
side.
he's got more experience right now. I'll lean Woody.
Tyrone Tracy Jr. or Devin Neal?
I have Devin Neal 1 spot ahead.
Christian Watson or Devin Neal?
I'll go Christian Watson.
And then Devin Neal or Aaron Jones Sr.?
That one's pretty interesting. I'll go Aaron Jones Sr.
Yeah, maybe. The split between him and Mason was interesting last week. Of Mason finally looked like he was okay on the ground.
Yeah, I think you start to get that offense just had to find something.
Sure.
Atlanta's 4-7. The Jets are 2-9. The Vegas line here: Atlanta minus 2.5 in Week 13. Over under 39.5. Gross. Okay, Aaron Glenn.
Thanksgiving is just siphoning all the good games.
Yeah, the Falcons
I guess
Jets
that's all
battle is not one that I'm going to be glued to. The Kirk Cousins Tyrod Taylor matchup. These teams, these quarterbacks faced off against each other in 2015.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
That was a minute ago.
They were both top 5 quarterbacks that week. Boys.
Oh, man.
It was just 10 years ago.
Just 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime.
Honestly, how impressive is it that Tyrod Taylor is still playing 10 years later? Like he's had a
Still around.
a long career.
Yeah. How old is Tyrod Taylor? Is he older than Brissett?
No,
yeah, way older. 36.
36.
Yeah. You know, Brissett's only 32.
Interesting.
He feels like he's been around forever.
Taylor has made over $82 million.
Oh, yeah.
He got a starting contract.
There's an Instagram handle. This guy only does reels, and all he does is say things like, if you had made, $50,000 a year since George Washington was born, you still wouldn't have made as much money as third string backup this guy. Like he just every day it's one of those guys that you're like, holy, like Luol Deng has made more money than if you made this much per minute since George Washington was born. But Tyrod Taylor's done good work.
Good for you, Taylor.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, Bijan, play your Bijan, play your Breece Hall.
Yeah, it's a good matchup for Breece Hall. The Falcons' run defense has kind of evaporated. Early in the season, it seemed like they were going to shut people down.
What are they? What are they?
Nobody knows.
How?
But
Why?
with Kirk Cousins, and do we have an update on Drake London?
He's doubtful.
Okay, so without Drake London, that version of Kirk Cousins, which is the only version we have seen so far, is going to set the Jets up to be a little bit more competitive in this game, have more opportunities for Breece Hall. So I'm happy to play Breece this week.
If you want to strap on a pair of significantly protective underpants, John Mechie could be okay. He's been the wide receiver 17 and 13 the last 2 weeks. It is a little bit enticing with how bad the Falcons have been. And you look at a situation like Alec Pierce, for example, or a more even Christian Watson. Watson I'd play. But when you look at a matchup and you say, hey, do I want to go for the one big play type of guy, or do I want to take a shot at John Mechie getting more targets?
No, I agree. If you look at what happened, so he got traded to the Jets 3 weeks ago. The first week, 16% of snaps was not involved. Makes sense. He just arrived at the team. The last 2 weeks, 82% and 86% of the snaps. Both weeks a touchdown. Both weeks decent yardage, 45 and 65 yards. They need him. He came in as a good player. He was a second-round pick. Maybe a little bit overdrafted, missed the beginning of his career with the cancer situation, but he's still a young guy, 25 years old. I like taking a shot at John Mechie.
I got a nasty one for you. Mechie or Jordan Addison?
I'd play Mechie.
I think I'm going Mechie there.
Yeah.
And that's where we are.
Yeah, no, and Kyle would like you to know Mason Taylor, 0 forced tackles on the season. What do you mean forced tackles? Missed tackles? That's probably what
Forced
he meant.
missed,
Forced.
yeah.
Well, he said forced tackles.
Mason
That's
Taylor
not a-
forces
that doesn't
tackles
make
all
sense.
the time.
Yeah.
So even when there's not a defender
He
around.
forces tackles.
Yeah.
Meow. How about Mechie versus Chemray DK?
I see them about the same.
Okay.
I
Don't pick.
I'll play them both with my roster.
Yeah, you
probably.
would.
Darnell Mooney on the other side or Mechie?
Mooney.
Kyle Pitts.
Or Mechie.
No, just Kyle Pitts. I'm just saying the name out loud.
Pitts question.
Kyle Pitts. It's not even a question mark. It's just the name.
Okay.
He plays.
He's there. He is.
The punctuation after Kyle Pitts' name is a frown emoji.
Right.
It's just
I
Kyle
couldn't s-
Pitts
yeah.
frown.
Kyle Pitts last week was 2 for 25. The team scored 24 points against New Orleans.
He is so.
There was no Drake London.
Remember we had Mr. Necessary at tight end?
Yes.
He is truly
Charles
Mr. Unnecessary. He's Mr. Unnecessary.
He makes no sense.
And he honestly, he had a couple big plays that he dropped in that game.
And
But-
Kyle, who could they have drafted instead of Kyle
Yeah, I
Pitts?
can't remember.
Kyle, I
Kyle.
can't remember, man.
Every person on planet Earth.
No, but
Okay,
who
but
went
like,
like
who was
right
the one
after? Who was the
specific
pick
dude?
after him?
Some wide receiver for the Bengals.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. What is it?
It's man,
Jamar or something?
I feel like we're chasing that name.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. He didn't want to say it. He's still hurting. Arizona's 3-8. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers 6-5. Tampa Bay is struggling right now.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, they are favored. 3-point favorites at home. Over under 44.5. Some optimism that Baker Mayfield will be able to play in this game. He is a tough son of a gun. That's a dog.
Laser. Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. But if he plays, I think that's a tough start. The Cardinals on the season and over the last 6 weeks are 10th against fantasy quarterbacks.
You know who's out now? Walter Nolan.
Oh, are you
Oh,
serious?
for real?
Already declared out.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't think Will Johnson or Walter Nolan will be out there.
But I'm saying of the Cardinals defense against quarterbacks has been good, and you're one hit, one good hit, and then you've lost your fantasy quarterback.
Playing Baker versus being happy Baker's playing for the other players are two different things.
Right.
I would not try to play Baker. I would try to find another
Okay.
option. The over-under, it's pretty low, but I want him to play. I want to see him behind center with Bucky Irving returning, with Emeka Ibuka. They have a connection. With Godwin being back out there, he only played a very small percentage of the snaps. They're working him into the rotation. It's just better for the game. And the Cardinals did a really good job of giving Brock Purdy his confidence a couple of weeks ago. So we will see what happens there. The other report is that Bridgewater is going to get the majority of the first-team reps as they wait on him.
He should, yeah.
Both of those things should happen. Like Baker can play without him, and Teddy needs him. So we'll see. Teddy's not the worst, right? From a backup quarterback perspective, he looked
not
okay.
the worst.
Where are you with Ibuka if Teddy started?
I'm still starting Ibuka if Teddy's starting. He targeted him enough. It didn't work out. They didn't connect a lot. But also in that last matchup, it was much more difficult for Bridgewater and Baker. The Rams' pass defense was just annihilating that offensive line. With Walter Nolan out, I don't think the Cardinals are going to really make it as difficult for Teddy. So I'm fine. I'm not starting Teddy. I'm not starting Baker. But I am starting Ibuka regardless of who the quarterback is.
By what I can see here, Teddy hasn't started a game since 2022.
We took some time off from football.
Yeah, he was. To coach football.
Yeah, coach football.
But I'm just saying. I mean, he was on the Detroit roster at least for a little bit.
What?
That's saying that's a long time for us to have not seen Teddy throw.
Tampa has been statistically quite awful, giving up 25 points a game to running backs. What do you do with the Cardinal running back room? This is why I brought up Michael Carter earlier, because Bam Knight and Michael Carter, as of right now, that seems to be the guys that are going to play in this game.
You don't think it's Trey Benson?
I haven't seen a single report about Trey Benson playing in this game. Has anybody seen anything?
Competitive advantage.
I don't have any reason to believe Trey Benson's playing.
The reason I have to believe that he could play is that at the end of last week, it seemed like there was a real chance for him to play. So given that he basically has to start this week or next week based on the 21-day window, and that he almost played last week, I would not be shocked if Trey Benson plays. If Trey Benson plays, I'm happy to start him.
As am I.
If Trey Benson is out,
You're unhappy to start other players?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Michael Wilson, not Michael Thomas. He's much better than Michael Thomas. Michael Wilson, the start of the week for yours truly. Would you play Michael Wilson or Ibuka?
Oh, my goodness.
That's right. That's right.
I
Hard-hitting question.
I would go.
Let me go to the deucer cam. What do you think about it?
I know what the answer is. I just don't know if I'm strong enough to say it into
Right.
a microphone.
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough.
If Marvin Harrison is inactive, I will go Michael Wilson. If Marvin Harrison is active, I will go Ibuka.
See, you know what I find interesting here, and this is really going to hit just the YouTube crowd. We've got the Cardinals, right? And we've got Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm. They look very similar.
But we don't go home road on the matchup jerseys, huh?
No.
Okay.
Do you know how much? That's double the work.
It just looks like it's red on red.
The helmets are different.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I mean, it's a long show, guys.
Do you want it to be like the alternative uniforms as well?
I think it's a home and road jersey, Mike. I think that's just the way the
slippery
world,
slope.
the way the world works. I don't feel like
Thank you,
that's,
Mike. Thank you.
that's
Mike.
not that hard.
We're trying to be efficient here.
Oh, then you're like, oh, we're gonna get the color rush.
Yes.
No, I don't need that. I don't need color rush. I just want home and road.
The graphics guy is shaking in his boots right now.
This is like
Don't make me do it.
When we
Don't make me
introduced
do
these
road.
graphics for the YouTube, we did it Apple style. We limited the total package so that we could release an update.
Ah, nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could have done it right the first time, but whatever. Check out iOS 27. Trey McBride, play him, please, all the time. And then if Harrison's back, I'm moving away from Dortch. If he's not, I think Dortch is still a dart throw. If there's no Harrison, would you play Dortch or Mechie?
Dortch or Mechie? Probably Dortch. I mean, last week, 9 targets, 6 for 53, a touchdown again. So, yeah.
Nobody gets up in a game where they're down by a bunch and is more excited about a 9-yard catch than Greg Dortch.
Greg Dortch. He stunts on them when they're down big.
It's so tough because if you're not a star player, if you're not like part of the core of the team, then it really is about you to some degree. And so you score this touchdown. How are you not celebrating even though you're down a ton? I don't know. I simultaneously, I watch a guy celebrate when he's down and go, that is embarrassing. Like,
if you catch 100 passes on the year or you catch 10 passes on the year, the 10 you catch are 10 times more valuable to you.
And so then on the other side, I'm like, I get it, man. Go celebrate. You just got that touchdown.
That's what Dortch does.
Yeah.
The Rams, the number 1 seed in the NFC at 9-2, take on the Carolina Panthers, who are 6-5. The Rams are 10-point road favorites. The over-under is 44.5. And I enjoyed the Rico Dowdle social media tweet yesterday of just the befuddled emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Just the face of like, I don't understand why I got 6 carries.
Yeah, there was a coaching catastrophe. You had the first and goal on the 1 or maybe even the half-yard line, and you don't give Rico any chances. That's ridiculous. The second half opens up. Maybe they will actually look and be like, but why aren't we giving Rico the ball? They give Rico the ball, huge chunk gain. No more Rico. That was it. And it's like, what are we doing here, man? The reason that your team is in the position it is not because of Bryce Young. It's because of Rico Dowdle.
So
don't let the one game last week of the 400 yards be like, no, this is who Bryce is.
It just makes you nervous this week.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
the Rams are such a great defense and a great running defense, and it's like
they are number 1 on the season of fewest fantasy points given up to the running back position. They average, if you adjust for the schedule they've played, 13.5 fantasy points and half PPR to the running back position. So now Chuba is going to get some of that, and it's going to be split with Rico. It's a worrisome start for me where I do look at other players.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the start sit questions. This one makes sense, right? Rico Dowdle or Woody Marks. What would you do? I could see going Woody Marks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that.
I can see
I see DeAndre Swift or Rico Dowdle. Another reasonable question.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I go down to one of our more recent ones. And somebody out there, I'm looking at you. Somebody just typed in. This is recent.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor or Rico Dowdle.
Oh, man, that's tough.
My guy.
My guy.
My guy, what do you
You're in the streets, man.
Yeah, what do you come on.
I'm going to lean Jonathan Taylor on that one.
No, and
just because of the matchup.
Tedero McMillan scored again last week, saving the week. He scored in 2 straight. He's on pace for about 80 and 1,107. I think Tataroa, you just play him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andy, did you know? Now, he hasn't had a bye week.
Okay.
So that does factor in. That Tataroa McMillan is a top 10 fantasy wide receiver on the year.
He's wide receiver.
But no bye week.
Correct. But just
What's his points per game? I bet he's about 18, 19.
11.4.
yeah.
Well, no. I meant rank. Sorry. Jason
That's
gave me the
that's
points
a
per game
really,
number.
really bad guess.
I meant where did he rank? Compared to, because you said he was 10 or 9 on the season. I'm just curious if somebody has that.
I'll figure
I
that
can
out
look
for
that
you.
up. He's 18.
Yeah, that's how he. There you go. That's how he feels, and that's great. That's fine.
Is that some
ahead
do
of
you have some
ahead of Roma Dunze. Gosh darn it!
It's not amazing. It's good. It's you didn't let me down as a rookie, but you're a top 10 pick. Like I could see being a little disappointed. I think the hype is.
You want to know what I love about it? We haven't finished this season, and he's going to finish really strong. I mean,
Well, if they give Rico 6 carries a week, he really will.
yeah, I'm thrilled to start Tataroa rest of season, and I do think he's going to be special down the stretch.
Puka, Javonte, play them. Kyron, play them. It's not hard. The Stafford decision, also you can play him. It's looking like a magical year. They are by far the favorites to reach the Super Bowl in terms of the Vegas odds.
They have the best combination in the league right now of offense and defense. They don't have a weakness on either side of the ball. They can run the ball. They could pass.
Yeah, you can look at Philly and Kansas City, and they've got great defenses, and you're like, well, their offenses are okay.
Right. Yeah.
This is like a cruising offense. Minnesota's 4-7. The Seahawks 8-3. This should be interesting. Seattle minus 11.5. Over/unders 41.5, and the Vikings are just their season's done. It's done. It's very, very done.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for the fantasy production in the playoffs? We had talked at the trade deadline time about the amazing schedule for Jefferson. This is why I think it's devastating that he's got the concussion. Now, maybe missing the Seattle game in Seattle's okay. But beyond that, you better line up J.J. McCarthy for 5 straight weeks and cook with or you're be cooking at an in and out.
The implied total for Minnesota at 15 is not
15 points.
Yeah, there's not a lot of faith coming in here for the other quarterback.
Jefferson had the lowest line he's ever had in any sports book last week.
Oh, it was like
69 yards.
Yeah.
It is 62 this week, which is his new all-time low. The switch to Brosmer, not encouraging when you're not at home and you're playing Seattle in Seattle. It's really hard to start any Vikings with any confidence this week, including JJ.
I'm switching from Aaron Jones to Devin Neal.
Because of just how overwhelming this feels?
Yeah, the matchup, the projected point total, it's not a good look for Minnesota right now. Hard to imagine. I mean, unless Max Brosmer comes in here and just really surprises and you go, oh, okay, there's a quarterback competition. But keep in mind, when J.J. McCarthy was not active, Carson Wentz was borderline dead. Couldn't move or use his
physically.
The left half of his body.
He already had the injury.
To which he then immediately afterwards, had season-ending surgery. And they're like, yeah, you got to, Carson, we can't go to Brosmer. You got to get back out there, Carson. So, I don't think they were sitting there going, we got something special back here.
It seems like because of the way the game script is, 26.5 implied point total on that low over-under, like Kenneth Walker's really in play again.
Kenneth Walker, it unfortunately has not translated to really special production, but
I'm pretty happy.
Well, I mean, just
double digits.
You had
for
a
2
top
straight
12
weeks. Let's go.
You had a top 12 against the Rams.
6.5 a carry last week.
They did it again though last week.
Yes, and that's what I was going to bring up is the snaps and the opportunities. They have really shifted to Walker.
They did give him chances. I mean, they gave him red zone opportunities last week. He had 3 attempts inside the red zone.
Yeah,
he had one inside the 10. He had one inside the 5.
Yeah, but he did have the drive where he got him down there, and then they switched to Sharps, and Sharps got in.
Yep. No, that's
Walker is. I love Walker is a good play, but are you playing Sharps? Like, are you going to chase the touchdowns?
I'm not.
Okay.
I think the workload, seeing him out there so much. I mean, 6 carries for Charbs, you are playing for 1 carry.
Yes,
into the
you
end
are.
zone.
But I'm just saying in this matchup where Seattle is at home favored by 11.5 points.
Yeah, I'd lean Walker.
You would imagine. Yeah, I would.
Oh,
I
I'm
would
playing
play
Walker
Walker
over
over him,
Charbs.
but
Yeah.
you would imagine that there's a good chance Charbs could get a touchdown.
Monongai or Charbs?
Charbs or Jordan Mason. Charbs.
Yeah.
And then all that
I
is
like
is-
Monongai more. I couldn't say his name right,
Yeah.
but I like him more.
Monongai.
Monongai. JSN, I would play him.
Yeah.
This week is a tough decision.
mashed potatoes like that. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And Jefferson, I think that's the biggest. I'm going to go look at the start-sit tool right now
Yes.
with Jefferson, and I'm going to see his name. I just imagine people are going to be worried about Jefferson. I mean,
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah, I got
he's
one. I got
barely
one
in my
for
24 right
I've
now.
got one for you without looking at what people are asking. But Justin Jefferson or Michael Wilson?
Yeah.
Let me go to this camera here while I
Yeah.
keep
Hey,
going.
what are we doing here, turkeys?
What would you guys do?
Get
back
on the
there?
record.
What would the turkeys do in that one? Michael Wilson, Justin Jefferson.
There's zero chance I could sit Justin Jefferson for Michael Wilson personally.
Do you know how to use a mic, Josh?
Oh,
He's trying.
the producer.
Oh,
It's-
Josh's
it's
microphone
too hot
doesn't
back
work.
there. Oh, fantastic! Good work, producers. And I mean that. Good work in muting Josh. That's what we always dreamed of.
Yeah. It'd be great if we reversed his mute button, so every time he tries to talk, he's muting himself.
Yes,
Um,
you're doing it to yourself.
Come on, Max. You got it.
no, I don't want to play Jefferson in this game, and I would have the guts to sit him. I'd play Ibuka.
We could move the camera back.
Oh, no, we can't. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Wan'Dale or Justin Jefferson?
I'm playing Wan'Dale.
Troy Franklin or Justin
Okay.
Jefferson?
Well, I'll play Jefferson there.
Christian Watson?
Jefferson.
Okay.
No more further questions. We'll take a break, more matchups, and don't forget we have our fantasy face-off as well.
This episode is supported by Prize Picks. It is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you're out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, which game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. And hey, check this out. Prize Picks now is early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. We have been loving our time on the Prize Picks this year, facing off against each other, going the mores or less. And look, what I really love on Prize Picks, number one, the app is extremely easy to use. It's very intuitive. But I love all the creative stuff out there, like just overall pass percentage of a quarterback, a running back. Will they get more or less than 20 yards on their first 5 carries? Really special, unique, fun stuff that makes the game day just a little bit more exciting. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code FOOTBALLERS to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code FOOTBALLERS to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
How many games do we have left?
I don't know.
How many games?
Just make it stop.
Buffalo 7-4, Pittsburgh 6-5.
3 games? Okay, we can do this.
Oh, is that it?
We can do it.
The Vegas line, Buffalo minus 3.5,
Take
over,
a
under.
Quick nap, guys.
Are you running out of gas?
I've been out for a while.
Get this guy a smelling salt.
Yeah,
Do we?
is it
We have a
time?
smelling salt over there.
Throw me the salts
Oh wait, that's all.
That's a whole. Oh.
in the
Definitely
face.
hit me in the face. Here you go, Jay.
All
Let me
right.
get you to get you through the last 3. Mike, you want one?
No, I don't.
Mike's shaking
No,
his head.
I don't.
We'll share, Jay.
I-
We'll share.
I know
You
what
take
it can
the
do.
first sniff.
I know. I know. No, they don't. They don't make me feel energized.
I love that smell though.
They just make my nose and my eyes burn.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back, baby. Buffalo 7-4, Pittsburgh 6-5. Buffalo minus 3.5, over under 47.5. And okay, well, they signed. Who'd they sign at wide receiver? Brandon
Cooks. Yeah.
That'll fix it.
Our problems are solved.
If you
What
could
is Buffalo doing?
If you could smelt down a bunch of receivers into one, right? Like a metal.
sure. Yeah.
You get. I'm just
No,
making
yeah,
sure you
no,
follow
yeah, no,
the
I got it.
smelting.
yeah,
Yeah.
smelt.
Yeah. You dealt it.
I'd swish.
So I just feel like they might need like to not waste Josh Allen's prime is all I'm saying. You play Allen This is an interesting game. You play James Cook, of course. And then I'm starting to feel more confident around Khalil Shakir right now. Ever since we saw, last week was big. It wasn't great the weeks before, but from a target share perspective, like over the last 5 weeks, he's on pace for 125 targets. And so if I get 125 Josh Allen target pace, I'm okay with that. I don't know if you guys are like Shakir or Justin Jefferson. Apparently that's the question.
I'd play Jefferson. Does Brandon Beane's television only – are you still smelling that?
Sorry, I wanted one more whiff. There you go, Jay.
Yeah, my left nostril's way too open. I got to open that right one now.
Does Brandon Beane's television only play games like NFL games from like 5 years ago? Is that why they get those wide receivers?
Yeah, he only watches.
He's like, this is Brandon Cooks. He's doing great work.
They're just adding Gabe Davis coming back.
That's what I mean. It's weird.
Yeah, so I don't think it's complicated though. Start sit wise on Buffalo's side, right? It's Allen and it's Cook and then Shakir in an emergency.
Yeah,
Keon Coleman, is he going to come back?
No.
We don't even know if he's playing ball, but if he is, he's not going to be in my lineup.
Oh, I forgot we have mailbag too.
Yeah.
We'll get a triple gobble mailbag.
Oh yes,
yeah, we will. Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
You remind me we had mailbag. We're going to do that. All right. Kenneth Gainwell got Mike's start of the week. The little pat on the butt. Jalen Warren is of course in your lineup too, right?
Yeah. Both of them are in play.
And then we expect to see Aaron Rodgers back out there, but does it mean much? I don't know if this offense really functions much differently. I don't think you look at Metcalf and go, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness he's got Rodgers instead of Rudolph.
No, but you still start
Even
Metcalf.
if that was Rudolph.
Is it Metcalf or Justin Jefferson?
Oh,
I
Jefferson.
think I would go Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
8
targets 2 weeks in a row for DK Metcalf. 8 targets 2 weeks in a row. Turns that into 5 for 49 and 5 for 22.
Can we call him the candy man? Because he only eats candy for food?
I mean,
It makes me feel better.
I feel like that's
The candy man or
too
Odunze?
good. It's killing him. The candy man's too good.
The candy man can.
Yeah,
well,
we on the
either the
Footcast
Candyman
yesterday,
can
we
or-
basically said he was turkey. It's like,
Yes.
this is the big, beautiful, special thing that's really overrated. And
Yeah,
not
I don't
that
know
good.
why people feel like they have to attack turkey just because they like ham.
No, I'm not attacking. I still like turkey.
You
DK
just think
Metcalf,
it's overrated?
yes, he's
Turkey-
very overrated.
Turkey,
DK Metcalf got a $150 million deal. He is not a true wide receiver one.
A big part of turkey is the dressing.
Yeah.
Like putting the gravy on it, I mean.
Yeah, so put
So the
DK
gravy,
Metcalf
like,
on a good team.
His
good
gravy
offense,
is
good
Aaron
quarterback.
Rodgers.
Yeah, the gravy's gone bad. Gravy's a little old.
That's like some...
Gravy's been sitting out for 40 years.
It has. So Metcalf is a scary start. I mean, Shakir or Metcalf in the same game. I'll probably go Metcalf.
I would go
Metcalf.
Metcalf.
Jacoby Myers against Tennessee. Metcalf.
Metcalf.
Okay.
That one's closer than it should be.
I'd go
That's dumb.
Shakir over Myers.
Okay.
Any other questions from this game? Any other thoughts? We've talked through all the main players.
No, the Bills are good against tight ends.
You want to know why he's
which is
struggling?
actually good news for DK Metcalf because
Okay,
when it
yeah,
comes to Jonnu and Pat Freiermuth and big old Darnell Washington and more than any of those three, Arthur.
Remember Darnell Anderson?
Oh, yeah. Arthur Smith wanting to get his tight ends involved. This is not the matchup where he's going to be able to do that. So DK Metcalf should have a few more targets going his way.
Shout out to Ben Fennell for this stat, but this is why Metcalf sucks. Steelers did not complete a pass of 20 air yards in the month of November.
But the month of November is
4 games.
It's almost over.
0 completed passes of 20 more yards. Winston did it 5 times against Detroit by himself.
Did he catch one
Jameis
as
should
well
be
over 20?
Jameis should be everybody's quarterback.
I agree.
Jameis should be everybody's
We've talked about this.
The NFL is so fun.
That
with
Jameis should be the backup to all games.
to all teams.
And if any starter gets injured, he comes in and goes, go deep.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Raiders at 2-9 take on the 7-4 Chargers. The Vegas line, LA -10. Over under 41.5. The Chargers, correct me if I'm wrong, their last game was a spanking at the hands of Jacksonville.
Yeah,
then they go into
yes.
the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So
They
not that all the
awful.
Raiders games aren't a spanking for the Raiders, but they're heavy favorites here. 10-point favorites. That implied point total for the Raiders is 15 points. That's wild. That's low. That is
It'd be a lot more than the Raiders scored against these Chargers in week 2 when they put up 9.
Yeah, 20-9 game in week 2. Geno was once again hot farts in that one, 56% completion percentage, 3 picks, bad passer rating, and it's not getting better for Las Vegas. They're just firing coordinators until Pete runs out of them, and then he runs out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert, though, like, are you revitalized with your confidence with the Chargers because of the matchup?
Yeah.
Even though they were so disappointing out
The
of the
matchup along with the bye, I think they really needed the bye week. I'm hopeful that Omarion Hampton comes back, which will open things up. Their issue is they've lost their 2 left tackles. I mean, their left tackle and then their right tackle who became their left tackle. And their offensive line has been a real problem for Herbert. Max Crosby will be an issue, but he's really the only one. The Raiders don't have a great pass rush despite having Max Crosby. So I expect better things from Herbert. I'm okay with starting pretty much all of the Chargers. Not all of them are going to hit, but yeah, I mean, it would go in the order of Ladd. I'm thinking it would go Ladd, Huge, Gadsden, Keenan.
I'm fine with
I'm okay with
that order.
It's Ladd at the top.
Yoshi
and then,
Voss, where does he fit into that order, though? Like somebody like Andre Yoshi
I
Voss.
think probably
Above Quentin?
ahead of Huge. Yeah, I'd
So
go
then it's Ladd,
Yoshi.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I want to see Hampton back out there. I want to see the split. Like, I wouldn't – let me put this out there. If Hampton plays, don't freak out if this game isn't the game.
Right.
For Omari and Hampton. I think you could see a lot of Kamani Vidal as well. He's really earned the respect of the coaching staff, and – Hampton, they could ease him back in to the situation is all I'm saying. Ashton Genty hurt his ankle. We think he's okay. This is Wednesday, right? We're early on the week. But, I mean, other than Bowers, do you?
No.
That's Bowers and Genty?
Yep. That is it.
And you will not get plenty, probably.
Probably not.
Sunday Night Football, Denver. Do we have a Monday night game too? Oh, they straight up lied to us when they said 3 games left. It was 4. I'm looking at the deuces over there, and they're nodding.
Oh,
it was 4.
I realized it about 2 matchups ago.
Hot in that costume?
You
My
snooks.
goodness. You know what? Turn your masks around. I don't want you to be able to see. That actually works.
Yep. Oh, it does work.
That's right.
Turn them around.
Rest of the show.
There you go.
That's it. Oh my goodness. Triple gobble over there. Let's move on. We've got 100 games left. Denver 9-2, Washington 3-8. Denver 6.5 point favorites. Over/unders 43.5. Weird game to me. Both teams coming off the bye. Commanders have lost 6 in a row. Broncos have won 8 in a row. There is a non-zero chance that Jaden's back in this game.
I don't think it's very high.
I don't think it's very high either.
I'm
but
still going under 10%.
they're at home in Denver. I don't know what you are on offense. I know what you are on defense, and I love you. You're a great defense.
Defense is elite. Their offense is going to be just fine
in this week.
Yeah.
You don't think Dan Quinn can get this thing going on defense coming out of the bye week against Denver?
I do not.
Find the weaknesses in this offense and shut them down?
Because despite any weaknesses, the Commanders can overcome that.
With their lack of personnel.
And let their weaknesses become their strength.
Yeah, and if you've got Mariota, it hurts their defense as well. That's going to set the Broncos up for potential shorter fields or more time of possession. So, yeah, I think we all like the Broncos offense. We're all very, very hopeful that the Broncos can come here to the Washington Commanders, who are 30th against quarterbacks, 30th against wide receivers, 27th against running backs, and put up an offensive performance. We are all extremely hopeful. But also,
in the back of your head,
you're going, they've had these opportunities before.
Vegas?
And
remember the Vegas game?
You come and just fall on your face. So it is scary. I believe in R.J. Harvey. I think he's going to be outstanding this week.
R.J. Harvey Dent?
Yes, I believe in R.J. Harvey Dent. And I believe that he will be a big cog to this engine running well.
Bo Nix is your start of the week at quarterback, Mike. I agree with that take there. Now, are you playing Franklin over Sutton?
No.
Was that some sort of train?
Yeah, it was
Nah.
I'd play Sutton.
Jason?
I would play Sutton.
Sutton or Bucky Irving?
Sutton or Bucky Irving?
It's a top question.
Oh, I would play Bucky Irving if he's
yeah,
back,
it's
for
like a
sure.
top.
Would you?
Top six
Just
question.
right to it?
Right to it.
I think I'd play Sutton.
Straight to starting.
Pity City or Troy Franklin?
Oh, man, this week.
I got 2 buttons I can push.
Pittman against Houston.
I got a good pity or a bad pity. Which one you want?
I'll push this one.
Okay. All right. On the other side, Debo, he's kind of had a couple of nice weeks in a row, right? Wide receiver 28 and 10. I would feel better with Jaden back out there. And I'm still on the Chris Rodriguez side at running back right now for Washington. He was the most impressive
I
runner
agree with that.
of the year.
Chris Rodriguez, I think we mentioned it on the
It's
waiver
not a great
day
matchup.
of like, I want to pick him up. I don't really want to play him this week.
We do have breaking news. Dan Quinn saying that Terry McLaurin will practice this week.
Oh.
So this is where I'm
Forgot about him.
This is where I'm like, if Jaden's back out there with Terry, like you got to remember they have not had that this year.
Right.
Any like lack of, I feel like the Jaden Daniels excitement wore down. It's been injuries, but it's also you have had no Terry all year, so it should look worse, right? It should be more of a struggle. So, that would be nice. That would make this a much more exciting game. So Jaden Daniels is returning to practice, but has not been cleared for contact yet.
So
And it is unlikely that he's
going
going to play.
He's not going to play.
But
So it'll
maybe-
probably be Mariota with. But he's been good. Mariota's been pretty good.
Mariota is a decent streamer with Jaden Daniels gone. This week is probably the week you want to avoid it. The Broncos defense has just been so outstanding.
Let me tell you, last 3 games for Mariota, 213 passing yards, against Kansas City. He also threw for 213 against Detroit.
Oh, no way.
But then against
No
Miami,
way.
he threw for 213.
No way.
No, he did
Yes,
not.
he did.
He's got his,
213 and he stops.
the governor is on there. It's like, I hit it. I got to run now, guys.
But 49 rushing yards last game. I mean, that was a quarterback 9 finish. I think Mariota, you don't probably do it in this one against Denver, but you got to know that he can provide a little bit for the offense, which gets him in the red zone, gets some Chris Rodriguez opportunities. Debo, he's throwing for a touchdown in every start. So
Minnesota next week, the Giants after that, depending on Jaden Daniels.
yeah, Jaden could have a little bit of an impact on the old fantasy playoffs.
He could.
As could McLaurin. Who knows? Monday Night Football. This is the last one, right? Before the fantasy face-off. Monday Night Football, the Giants 2-10. The Patriots 10-2. New England 7-point favorites. Over-unders 46.5.
It's all right. Despite the records, this is actually an exciting game.
Yeah, I'd be looking forward. I mean, to Jackson Dart being back out there against Drake May.
Yes,
Oh, that'll
exactly.
be
That's
so
what
fun.
I mean.
That's awesome.
And the best part is if Jackson Dart doesn't play, still awesome.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston.
Oh, yeah. That's so much more exciting. Why don't teams use him?
Yeah.
Because he's crazy. Jackson Dart, Drake May, though, both fantasy options this week that you should play if they're out there. You want to get word on the concussion protocol situation for Jackson Dart.
He's listed as a full practice. He's still technically in the concussion protocol, but you got to think if you're playing Monday night and you're practicing in full on Wednesday, you are trending in the right direction.
Tyrone Tracy in his 2 starts, 19 and 20 opportunities, running back 14 and 13. I have watched these games with an eye on his performance, and I actually think he has looked pretty good.
I agree.
Pretty tough running. I kind of think he's all right.
Yeah, the running game, and the thing is it's still a split. Like Singletary has had 16 and 14 rushing attempts in the last 2 weeks. At the same time that Tracy's getting all that work, they've been in these games, and so that's the question. Is like, are they going to be in this game as well? I don't know. They seem like they're similar to the Dolphins. There's a team that is not.
They're
good.
not 2-10 in effort.
Right. They're actually going out there and giving it the old college try. You know.
Regular season MVP right now, Stafford the heavy favorite, Drake May right behind. And it's not nobody else is particularly close in this moment.
Makes sense.
Travion Henderson, going up against the Giants defense, I was very close to making Henderson my start of the week.
Yeah,
Very
I
close.
would love to start Henderson.
I did it last week, so I wasn't going to do it again. But I don't have as much confidence in Diggs right now. Obviously, last week they took advantage of Cincinnati not knowing that tight ends play. But Kayshon Boutte's back. The snaps will be near 100% this week. I think Kayshon Boutte is close to my touchdown guarantee, too. I think
Whoa,
Boutte
a
has
3-pack?
What do you mean a 3-pack?
Well, you gave
Oh, because I said Andrews might have a shot at one.
Yeah, Andrews, Worthy, and Booty?
Those two are just like high odds. There's only one guarantee, and that's Worthy.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Booty is
Okay.
up there on players that I have
Gotcha.
confidence in this week. Like I'd play Keyshawn Booty in this game.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. You've got a team at home favored against a matchup that's not too difficult. And Booty's had a lot of good games this year. We were worried with him coming back off of the injury. How long will it take to get involved? And he had 80% snaps last week. So I think whatever you thought he was before the injury is what you should look at him as, going forward.
And then Wan'Dale. You can play Wan'Dale Robinson, and I think you might be even more excited if it's Winston versus Dart.
Yeah.
Because Dart's going to run the football a little bit more, and I think Winston's going to go right back to the well, and the well is Wan'Dale.
If Winston is starting, Wan'Dale becomes, I feel like, a borderline must start.
So you agree with that?
Yeah.
Anybody else in this game? Hunter Henry, are you just kind of letting that be a blip on the radar, and are you playing him?
I mean, there is one league I'm playing him in, but it's I'm not. He is not someone that I would recommend to play this week.
He went 7 consecutive weeks since his last top 10 performance before he gave you this past week.
Yeah, Henry's he's a solid matchup play, but this isn't the matchup.
Okay. All right, we did it. We just got through all
Wow.
the matchups, and the show's not even over.
Oh no, we're not done yet.
2 more segments.
You thought we were done.
When do we announce the hashtag?
Whenever we want. You want to give it right now?
I feel like we should.
Okay, because you don't want people to just go to the end of the
skip
show.
to the end.
I feel like it's between Huge Mungus, Boom Boom, and Triple Gobble, and my vote is Triple Gobble.
Oh, triple
I'm
gobble.
fine with triple gobble.
I think hashtag Triple Gobble.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, there's only one P in triple.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, how many
Yeah.
B's are in gobble?
There's 2.
Sure there are.
Are you a
Not
one?
fa-
You're a
not
1B
for-
Gobble?
Oh
guy?
yeah.
Gobble?
It's a triple gobble.
Gobble. You don't know how vowels work, do you?
It was.
You never learned how vowels work.
Double dribble. Double dribble.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic leads the league in triple gobbles. That's
Yeah,
that's
makes-
what it
there
hits for me.
is, yeah.
All right, there's your hashtag, Triple Gobble. Go on to X, tag us at the FF Ballers, and let us know you got through the entire show. Hashtag Triple Gobble. And there they are. There's the Triple Gobble right over there.
Oh, man.
And if I knew their mics were working, I'd make them do it again. Now, is that a strategic mic break so you don't have to do the mailbag in a minute?
Nah, I fixed it.
Oh, you fixed it?
fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've got the fantasy face-off first.
Fantasy Face Off, presented by Prize Picks.
All right, well, let's jump right into it. We have already put the shame on the deucer, so let's get into it. Quarterback position. Last week, I think, Jason, you and I both went 3 for 4 on the picks.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know. You missed the Diggs one? Is that what it was?
That
Diggs,
is also correct.
and then I missed the Higgins one. This week at quarterback, I'm going to start with Jordan Love, and I'm going to take more than 10.5 rushing yards.
Oh, you're going back to the well.
I do.
Dadgummit. I should.
That is my favorite.
I
The
should have done
favorite
that.
play of the entire year has been the
Dang
rushing
it.
yards for Jordan Love. It has worked so many times.
And
it's the Detroit game.
I
think.
too have Jordan Love 10.5 rushing
I was hoping
yards.
I'd be alone on that one. I know Al Borland loves it.
That's wonderful. So all of our picks this week are on
Thursday.
Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
we are doing a triple gobble here. My quarterback is your start of the week, Dak Prescott.
Prescott.
Dak Prescott at home against Kansas. I'm taking his completion percentage. His projection is a very nice 69.8.
Okay.
And I am going to say less than that.
Okay, I wasn't sure which way you'd go.
Yeah,
That's a high high bar.
Against Kansas City, he hasn't really been throwing for 70% most weeks. So
That'll be fun to watch.
I'm gonna go less.
Every pass.
I know. The completion percentage, if you haven't played with one of the completion percentages, it's so fun. You're so invested on every single pass. You're like, oh, yes.
Yep.
It got called back to penalty.
All right, Mike, your prize picks projection for
I'm
quarterbacks.
going with another one of the sneaky prize picks fun ones. I got Jordan Love.
Oh, you got Jordan Love.
Oh.
Completions in his first 10 pass attempts.
Okay, how many?
I'm going to guess.
The line,
6?
I'm going to guess projection is.
the projection is
6.5?
7.5.
6.5.
Okay.
And you took the
I'm going more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going more.
Okay. My running
Get that
back.
screen game going with Jaden Reed,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, this is cool. Yeah. My lineup has 2 running backs in it.
Perfect.
Oh boy!
But at least you got four players.
Give me
so
a
that's
moment.
cool.
Yeah. Unless you want to consider one of these to be.
Well,
Look. My running back.
Which running back are you taking?
My running back is going to be Keaton Mitchell, my Green Goblin, more than 9.5 rushing yards.
that's one
Okay.
attempt. That's one attempt, brother.
And I've got plenty of time to grab a tight end here.
Okay. That's funny.
I pulled it up.
I love
Nobody
that-
flagged this
I was
when I
gonna
sent
say
it over?
we send these over ahead of time, so
why
this
not?
is team effort.
Why not?
Yeah,
all right.
that's on me. My bad.
My run. Well, I'll share the blame.
It's probably
there,
on me,
Jeremy,
too.
a little bit with Andy. My running back is Derrick Henry against Cincinnati. His projection is 17.5 rushing attempts. He is annihilating that every week. I think that they are going to win with defense. Lamar is not the mobile Lamar that we're used to right now, so I'm taking more than 17.5 from Derrick Henry.
I have Javonte Williams. The projection is 2.5 receiving targets.
Is this a goblin?
Nope.
Oh.
No. I was very happy when I saw this
okay.
one. I'm taking the more.
That projection feels very low.
I just realized we probably sent all this over to Prize Picks already too.
No, not that one. We
Yeah.
only send one of each. Of
Oh,
yours.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that is worth mentioning on Prize Picks. They now have the
Are we
feature.
in?
Yeah, I think so. You can scroll down on the homepage and find like one from
What do
the
they
three
call
of us.
that, Al?
Yeah.
I think it's a player pack. If
Player
I'm not
pack
mistaken.
from the
pack.
Ballers. Okay. My wide receiver, maybe unsurprisingly because of my touchdown guarantee, I'm going Xavier Worthy, more than 36.5 receiving yards.
Okay. All right. This is a good find real quick.
And I
there.
do have a tight end.
My wide receiver is my Green Goblin. I'm taking Jamar Chase at 59.5 receiving yards.
Beautiful.
I'll go
Good
more.
work.
I'll go more than that.
Good work.
Okay.
Layup.
I got Christian Watson, Jason's start of the week. His projection for the Thursday morning matchup, 48.5 receiving yards. I will take the more.
And this one I've thought about all week long, and definitely convicted about it. I'll go Mark Andrews more than 0.5 touchdowns, and I do get it on receiving or rushing, which
Oh, that's important.
no,
he could take
could.
a little.
Speaking of rushing, my tight end is Mark Andrews, more than 0.5 rushing yards. He is being used as
One
the
tush push is all he
tush
needs.
push guy right now without
Interesting.
Lamar. So
so we
I just
both
need
have
a
an Andrews.
I just need a 4th and 1.
Yes.
Give me a 4th
That's a
and 1
fun
for the
one, too.
Baltimore Ravens.
little Thanksgiving fun.
My Green Goblin, hopefully it's a layup. It's Travis Kelce, 39.5 receiving yards.
Oh, that feels
I'll
that
go
feels
more.
easy.
All right, every week we've been building lineups based on projections on the Prize Pick app. We all do quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver, one tight end. Usually. And the reason we have Deucers dressed up as turkeys this fine Thanksgiving episode is because they lost last week. So that was Fantasy Faceoff presented by Prize Picks. Play along with us on Thanksgiving and check out our Fantasy Footballers Player Pack live on the app right now. Use the code Footballers and get $50 in lineups when you play $5. Well, it's triple
Get
gobble
ready,
time.
turkeys.
Triple gobble time.
Mailbag. Presented by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV.
I wondered who was going to do the
Yeah, we got some gobbles in there. Let's jump into the mailbag here. We got a voicemail question to kick it off. If you have a question, you can go to the website, thefantasyfootballers.com, or dial our voicemail hotline, 302-464-TFFB. That's 302-464-TFFB. First question here, voicemail. Looks like it's about George Kittle.
Happy Thanksgiving, ballers. Quick question. Do I sit Kittle for Gadsden? A little concerned about Kittle playing on the road in Cleveland in bad winter weather. Thanks.
Nope.
I understand it, being afraid of the weather, but if Purdy is in, then I'm not going to sit
Then
Kittle.
with Kittle, you'll win.
I will, I will
Yeah.
not siddle the Kittle.
Kittle's been amazing.
This show's going. This
It's been a
show's
long
going.
show, man.
It's going a
I'm
while.
on fumes.
And Gadsden doesn't have. I realize the weather is much better, but Gadsden, the Raiders, is a good matchup for the Chargers, but not necessarily for tight ends. They're top 5 against tight ends.
Yeah. Next question. It's a Wan'Dale question. Chad in Virginia. I can't believe I'm asking this, but Metcalf versus Buffalo or Wan'Dale versus New England.
I'm gonna go Wan'Dale.
I think it's Wan'Dale.
I think it's Wan'Dale.
And it's full PPR.
Was there
too.
anything else about DK's injury? Because he tweaked I think his ankle. He came back in the game, but I wasn't sure if maybe that was.
I haven't seen enough
going to hinder him yet.
No, but you just don't want to mess around with any variables with the Candyman. Matt in West Virginia, non-PPR.
It's way better than DK Mike Calf that our website still has on there.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that's a nickname for him?
Oh, yeah, Mike Calf.
I don't even remember what that's from. In non-PPR, Javonte Williams or RJ Harvey? Javonte Williams or RJ Harvey?
I said this earlier. I gave him as one of the examples. I would play RJ Harvey over Javonte this week.
They're very, very close in my rankings. As of right now, Javonte's at 12, Harvey at 15. I don't mind, though, going with Harvey.
Yeah, they are close. I've got Javonte just 2 spots behind Harvey in my rankings.
Okay. Jerry in Long Island, New York. Hey, Ballers, huge fan of the show with Lamar banged up and honestly playing like doo-doo for fantasy for me of late. Am I crazy to bench him for Stafford?
Ooh.
Now that
wow
is a good question.
It is, because when you say, am I crazy to bench him, I want to say yes. You don't bench Lamar Jackson, the highest over-under of the year against Cincinnati on Thanksgiving. You want that. But Stafford has been, a revelation. He's top 5 quarterback right now against Carolina. If I had both of them, I'm not going to watch Lamar Jackson on Thanksgiving without him in my lineup. It's close, and I think you have full permission to go to Stafford. That's not a crazy decision. I would be going Lamar. What about you guys?
I'm looking at my opponent. How many points do I need? Safe points.
The crazy thing is what you're saying is safe as Stafford.
Yes, I am.
This question is a little bit maybe not the one to end with, but we're going to do it anyway. Drew in the United States of America.
Oh, bonjour.
Why are you guys trying to act younger than you are?
What?
Your dislike for cats has really turned me off to the show. All 3 hosts should get tested for early dementia, especially Jason.
Yeah, mine's not early dementia. I was born this way.
Hold on.
Cats?
Young people old people like cats?
Nobody likes cats, I think.
Well, I know.
That's my understanding.
There's cat people.
Kittens are great.
I just don't know what the
correlation between being young and hating cats. So young people hate cats is what this guy's saying.
Is that what that is? Young people hate cats?
I don't know. I'm
And
so
old
confused, Drew.
Old people like cats, and that's how you have like the cat ladies and stuff like that?
Right, that makes sense. Cat ladies are never young. Cat ladies are sad old ladies with a dozen cats.
Here's a little Thanksgiving message for the world. For the United States of America and beyond.
Oh. Thanksgiving's just ours.
If you like something or you don't like something, cool.
Yeah.
I don't have to like, or somebody else doesn't have to like what you like.
Why are you trying to act so young?
Oh, okay.
With your opinions.
With my opinions. Okay.
Stay young, everyone. Stay young.
All right.
Never grow up.
That does it for our Gobble Gobble mailbag. Right now, new users can get NFL Sunday ticket for the rest of the 2025 regular season for only $48. Offer ends December 1st. New users only. Terms and embargoes apply. No refunds. Commercial use excluded.
Now, don't you dare say the hashtag.
Oh, don't say it again?
Absolutely not, because people skip to the end.
You knew I was going to do that.
I knew it.
That's my host. That's the host of me.
I put the finger up. Not happening. You listen, and you get rewarded. You skip, we skip you.
Okay. All right. On that note, thank you once again for joining us on the Megalodon episode. I'll go to Deucer Cam here as we sign out and say have a wonderful Thanksgiving with the families, a wonderful break for so many of you out there, and hope you enjoyed.
I'm grateful
the
for
Megalodon.
the Foot Clan.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm on the way, Jack
and
in the Box.
and the producers.
See you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.